Wide awake on a second-hand futon, no bad bag leaning by the back door. They say a good swing's worth the wait, and I'm trying to believe a little more. Late night buzzings, low hum in my chest. Maybe all these ballpark lights just mean I'm not there yet. Well, I'm not there yet. Run the bases, keep on chasing. Hearts are racing, feet keep pacing. Round in circles, all the same. Run the bases, call my name. Hey, hey, hey. Downtown flickers, boots on the blacktop. Under that moon, I count out my scars. Crowd cheers ringing in a faded highlight. Wish I could turn these bruises into stars. One more inning, I stand alone. Heavy's the glove, but they say that's how you...
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
At the Prairie Schooner, you can dine in a covered wagon while enjoying our delicious hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, and signature desserts. Go to prairieschoonerrestaurant.com or call us at 801-392-2712 to reserve your table today.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome into the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting bringing you Game 6, the finale of this series between the Ogden Raptors and the Idaho Falls Chukars. It's been a very different series than the last one that these two teams played against each other, where the Ogden Raptors swept the Chukars in convincing fashion back in Idaho Falls. But here in Ogden, Utah, an entirely different story. The Idaho Falls Chukars are on a 2-game winning streak, and they lead the series 3-2 after a late-game comeback with 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning yesterday.
Yeah, tough 9th inning for the Raptors, and for Idaho Falls, they've been a consistent winner year in and year out, and so it's really not that much of a surprise that after what, by their standards, was a disastrous start, and really by anybody's standards, the Chukars really struggled about the first 25 games of the season, but they look like they are about the same Idaho Falls club that we've seen year in and year out. And the big thing for the Chukars in this series, they're not beating themselves. And it was kind of tough for the Raptors there in the 9th inning to see them kind of beat themselves a little bit. And Idaho Falls was able to take advantage of it. Oddly enough, Arden, though, we've seen pretty good pitching on both sides for the most part in this 5-game series. We haven't seen a ton of those 14-13 type of games. And it's certainly been refreshing to see some good defense and some good pitching throughout this series.
And quite honestly, when it came to these two teams, you kind of expected there to be a decent amount of offense, as they're both in the top 3 for offensive statistics in the entire league. And coming off of the beginning of the season, the Ogden Raptors pitching staff was in the bottom half of the standings, and the Idaho Falls Chukars had the worst 12th place pitching staff in the entire league. So you were expecting, some more bats, some more excitement, a lot more runs, but so far, in just the last 2 games alone, there was 7 runs scored last night between the 2 teams and 4 in the game before that. So just 11 runs in our last 2 games that have been hosted here at Lindquist Field. Tonight, 2 lesser known names for the 2 teams on the mound, with Parker McMahon as well as Julian Berrettini. But if we have seen anything so far, it has been that the pitchers have been taking control. We had a complete game shutout by Josh Learson in Game 4 of this series, and then in Game 5, both of the starting pitchers, Seth Spencer and Jason Schaff, go 8 innings, and then it was the bullpen for the Ogden Raptors that kind of let the game go. So right now, it is the Chukars 3 and the Ogden Raptors 2 when it comes to game totals in this series. The Raptors will be trying to tie this series up and walk away with a split. The Idaho Falls Chukars are going to try to start off the second half of their season in the best way that they can with a 1 series over the Ogden Raptors. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be time to break down the league standings and take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. But that'll be after this on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years, getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
From providing a great member experience to providing easy access to your accounts with our mobile app, we are here to help you along your journey. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Idaho Falls Chukars and Ogden Raptors taking on each other for Game 6 of this series. And we're going to take a quick look at the current league standings in the Pioneer League. Anyone unfamiliar, the Pioneer League, a 2-half season. The top 2 teams after the first half of the season were the Billings Mustangs and Long Beach Coast. So they have already secured their spot in the playoffs at the culmination of this season. And now the top 2 teams in the second half of the season will secure the same spots. If it is Billings or Long Beach who occupies those top 2 spots, then it will come down to overall record. But Tyson, looking at the current standings right now, what are you seeing?
Well, Billings and Long Beach, once again, the 2 first-half playoff participants. Billings has won 10 in a row. Long Beach has won 9 in a row. So, of course, they're 5-0 in the second half. Modesto is also 5-0. They have won 5 in a row. Boise and Missoula have had pretty good weeks as they are 4-1, but oddly enough, both of those teams lost last night. Idaho Falls, obviously with a 3-2 record, having won 3 out of the 5 games in this series. Ogden is 2-3, and then obviously you got some teams towards the bottom of the standings. Great Falls and Red Pocket, each are on 1 game, each won yesterday, but they're just 1-4, and then you got a few teams 0-5, including the Glacier Range Riders. The defending champion Oakland Ballers, oddly enough, have had a tough go of it in the win-loss column, and the Yuba Sutter Freebirds, who have been a pretty consistent winner over the last couple of years, they are also 0-5 and are having kind of a tough 2026 season.
So a lot to look at in those Pioneer League standings, but like you said, the Voyagers and the Mobiles both getting wins last night, and the Red Pocket Mobiles a convincing victory over Boise last night. In baseball, it's all about making the right call. With Red Pocket Mobile, you can choose from 3 major 5G networks, so you can pick the signal that works for you. Proud sponsor of the Pioneer Baseball League, Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier. Slightly different lineups for both teams today, as you often see in Game 6 of a 6-game series. So looking at the starting lineup for the Bats of the Idaho Falls Chukars, same Ty Dooley is going to be leading off. He has led off every single game thus far, but you have Casey Vaughn back in the lineup. He hasn't played the last 2 games. He did play the first 3 in the series, but he'll be back in the lineup and batting much higher, going second. Then you have Sam Canton and Tyler Wyatt, as well as Justin Trimble. Those 3 are occupying their same 3 spots that they have been the last 5 games. Tyler Wyatt, the reigning Red Pocket Mobile Batter of the Week, and he has had a great outing here in Ogden. Parker Lester is playing first base again, and he'll bat 6th. Wes Mitchell is moving from left field back to being the DH. DeMarcus Smiley, who was the DH the last couple days, is actually going to be the catcher tonight. And a new face, Emilio Barrera, is going to be playing second base. He takes a spot of Garrett Ostrander, who had played the last 5 games. Going up against that offense will be this Ogden Raptors defense headed by Parker McMahon, who's getting the start on the mound. McMahon was on the team with the Raptors for a couple weeks, got released, and then actually got re-signed just about a week later. Dylan Wilkinson will be doing the catching for him behind home plate, the 3rd different catcher that the Raptors have used so far in this series. Sebastian Greco is at first and Gio Ferraro at second, so one of the co-captains, Cole Jordan, not in the lineup today. Chase Valentine will be playing short, and Carmine Lane at third, and then in left, you've got Colson Lawrence, Kyler Stancato in center, and Tyler Gannis in right field. What can you tell us about Parker McMahon, Tyson?
This guy that's a right-hander that goes straight over the top. He is 6'3", 210 pounds, 24 years old, out of Bozeman, Montana. Played earlier this season with the Missoula Paddleheads and played against the Raptors here at Lindquist Field early in the season, and then was picked up by the Raptors. And he's one of those guys, if he's got his control working, and he's somebody that likes to work in and out, up and down. He's not an overpowering pitcher, but he is somebody that it can be effective if he's able to locate. And obviously against this Idaho Falls Chukars team, who's been a high-powering offensive unit, he's going to have to find a way to locate if he's going to have success this afternoon.
Parker McMahon, like I said, had not been on the team for a little bit, rejoining the team, and he's been decent since coming back to the team recently. He's at a 9.0 ERA. He's a 3-0 record, though, and has appeared 5 times, so 3 wins in 5 appearances. This will be his 6th start. He's gone 23 innings, and his numbers across that are 29 hits, 23 runs, all of them earned, 15 walks, and 17 strikeouts, and opponents are batting at about .319 against him. So there's been a lot of great pitching so far, and in the last couple games, the starting pitcher for both teams has gone over 6 innings, with both pitchers last night going 8 innings, and then obviously Josh Learson back in game 4 going the full 9 innings. So it's been kind of a war of attrition when it's come to the pitchers in this series thus far, and so far they have been winning on both sides. Like I said, only 11 runs in the past 2 games.
Well, it seems like both clubs are doing a good job attacking the strike zone. And really, if you think about the mid of summer, and it's hot once again this afternoon, all these teams, they work batting practice in the middle of the afternoon in the summer heat. And you almost sense a little bit of fatigue with those bats. They just seem to be slowing down a little bit here in the middle of summer, and pitchers seem to be taking advantage of that. And it's going to be a hot one. There's not much of a breeze to speak of. And so I imagine both pitchers want to work fast and throw strikes, and if they can do that and get their team off the field and out of the heat, it's going to be to their advantage. But it's a little bit refreshing to kind of see the pitching taken over in this series, as we've seen a lot of those games that resemble a slow-pitch softball league. The only thing missing is the keg at second base. Otherwise, this is very much a hitter's league, but the pitchers have certainly had their way in the first 5 games of this series.
The offense is going to get going for the Ogden Raptors is going to be led off by Chase Valentine. He's batting first. Kyler Stancato will be moving up in the batting lineup a little bit and batting second. Carmine Lane, the 3rd baseman, will be batting 3rd. And Colson Lawrence will be batting cleanup tonight. That's a little bit higher than he has been so far in this series, as Gio Ferraro has been the consistent cleanup man thus far. Tyler Stone, the new acquisition coming into this series from the Missoula Paddleheads, will be batting 5th and is the DH. And then Gio Ferraro, that other power hitter, will be batting 6th. Greco, who's playing first base, will be batting 7th. Gannis is 8th. And then Dylan Wilkinson will be rounding out the batting order at 9th. So on paper, that looks like a very, very strong offense. I mean, you have Chase Valentine and Gio Ferraro, who's both gone 5 for 5 so far in this series. Tyler Stone batted in 2 RBIs yesterday. And Dylan Wilkinson as well was responsible for a couple RBIs throughout the series. So a lot to be aware of. And on paper, as always, the Ogden Raptors looking like a formidable offense, but it hasn't come to play in the last couple days. We're going to take a quick pause for the national anthem, and when we come back out of the anthem, we'll talk about the Idaho Falls Chukars defense.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bells bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
National anthem completed. Our play ball kids coming out into the field to yell play ball. And as promised, we're going to take a look at the Idaho Falls Chukars defense. They will be headed by Julian Julian Barinti. DeMarcus Smiley will be doing the catching behind home plate, so a new pitcher and a new catcher for the Chukars. Parker Lester is at first. The new face, Emilio Barrera, is playing second. Ty Dooley and Justin Trimble will be at shortstop and third. The two guys have been there all series long. Casey Vaughn in left field, Tyler Wyatt in center, and Sam Canton in right. So Julian Barinti. We're going to get that name down. We'll get there.
Berinti, his last name.
I'm saying it right on my second attempt. First attempt seems to be putting the emphasis on the wrong part of the word. So Barinti so far this season has been in the lineup a few times for the Idaho Falls Chukars, but obviously coming from the first half of the season where they were the worst pitching staff in the league, there's not a lot to speak of from a statistical perspective for a lot of these pitchers.
Almost seems like for Idaho Falls, you can almost set the reset button somewhere around the 25 game mark, and it almost seems like they've hit the reset button. It's almost like a completely different season and a completely different team. For whatever reason, they got off to just a terrible start, as they were something like 2-20, 2-21, something of that nature. And they hit the reset button, and ever since then, Chukars have been a pretty respectable club and have been about as consistent as they have been year in and year out, going all the way back to affiliate ball. And even as a partner league here in the Pioneer League, Idaho Falls is one of those teams that is usually in the running for a playoff spot. We got two good offenses, and I think we're going to have a fun afternoon for baseball.
This is Barinti's just third start of the season. He's had 10 appearances, or this will be his 10th appearance, so 7 of them have come in relief, 3 in starts. 13.5 ERA and a 1-1 record. He has pitched 18 innings, given up 26 hits, 28 runs, 19 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So the control has been a big issue for Barinti. But it's going to be Parker McMahon and his defense of the Ogden Raptors up first on defense, as his first pitch is a called strike by our home plate umpire, Matt Beaver. Third game that Beaver has been behind the plate. Here comes the 0-1. This one is fouled out of play. First pitch occurred at 1:03 p.m. on Sunday, July 19th. A warm one today. As we've mentioned, 94 degrees right now, expected to just get hotter. It's going to get up to 99 today, and really not a breath of wind to speak of. Entire field illuminated in the sunlight, so the shade that the Raptors have become accustomed to having as the 0-2 is swung on and missed for strike three, a three-pitch strikeout. That shade that they've been accustomed to having is going to be a memory of the distant past.
Good pitch by McMahon there, 90 miles an hour, top of the zone, and it turned out to be good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Quick strikeout and quick work of Ty Dooley, the leadoff hitter.
Yesterday, Ty Dooley did the exact same thing, striking out in 3 pitches to start off the game. He'll be followed up by Casey Vaughn, who fouls the first pitch back into the fence, the netting behind home plate. Raptors in their blue and black camouflage jerseys today with white pants as the 0-1 catches the outside of the zone for strike 2. The Chukars in red jerseys and off-white pants with black socks. Chukars have definitely only brought 2 jerseys on this trip. It's either been their blacks or their reds. Here comes the 0-2. Check swing, did not go around, and it's ball 1.
I think that shade of red is maroon. Maroon, silver, and black, the main colors of the Idaho Falls Chukars.
A 1-2 count now to Casey Vaughn. Tall left-hander, and that next pitch misses outside. Kind of identical spot to the one before it to make it 2-2.
Although honestly, it seems like a little bit of a lighter shade of red than what they wore in years past.
Despite the slow start to the season, as the 2-2 catches the bottom part of the zone, and Casey Vaughn strikes out looking for out number 2 of the inning. So despite the tough last couple days, the Ogden Raptors do still have tied for the best batting average as a team in the Pioneer League, tied with the Billings Mustangs at 354, and then the Chukars right below them at 329, tied with the Paddleheads. So 2 of the best offenses in this league. Next pitch swung on and missed, so it's 0-1 to Sam Canton. 3 straight at-bats, first pitch strike for Parker McMahon, which is usually a recipe for success. Another left-hander going against the righty McMahon. Here comes the 0-1. And that one catches the bottom part of the zone for called strike 2.
McMahon doing a great job attacking the strike zone. It's been strike 1, strike 2 on a lot of hitters, and he's attacking the zone, having a lot of success here so far.
0-2, McMahon looking to go 3 up, 3 down with 3 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. It's fouled out of play, and it's going to be 0-2 again.
Canton certainly been a big power threat at the plate for Idaho Falls this year with 15 homers and 70 RBIs.
He's racked up 6 hits in the first 5 games of this series. He's had a hit or 2 in every game. Next pitch misses too low, and it's 1-2. And Canton is the leader on the team in just about every important statistical category. 391 batting average, 88 hits, 15 home runs, 70 RBIs, leads the team in all of those. Next pitch misses too low, and it's 2-2. The best way to describe the weather right now, I would say, is muggy. It is just a hot one out there.
Hot, a little bit humid.
Air is heavy. Here comes a 2-2 from McMahon. This one is pulled high in the air, but well foul.
Canton got out in front of that one. He hit that one a good country mile. Speaking of country, unfortunately, Billy Butler's not on the road trip, nicknamed Country Breakfast. One-time Big League All-Star was Billy Butler, but just 2 coaches traveling for the Chukars in this series.
The 2-2 again after the foul ball. Canton stance pretty straight up in terms of open or close. Next pitch misses outside, and the count is full. Canton putting up a little bit more of a fight in this at-bat than a couple of his teammates thus far. Here comes the payoff pitch, and that one is just a bit inside. And Dylan Wilkinson is going to challenge. Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge. The initial call is a ball, and it's overturned for a strike, so that's going to be a strikeout looking. So Parker McMahon starts off with a Strikeout swinging, strikeout looking to go up, three down in the top of this first inning. We'll be back for the first look at the Raptors offense after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting here with you. The Raptors make the Idaho Falls go 3 down in the top of the first, and now it's Chase Valentine and his offense coming up to the plate for the first time. Pitcher is Julian Barenti on the mound for the Idaho Falls Chukars. Barenti's last outing came in Game 2 of their Billings Mustangs series. It was in relief, however, but he did go 3 2/3 innings, facing 16 batters. His first pitch to Chase Valentine is up high.
So you do wonder if this is a little bit more of a bullpen game for our Idaho Falls. Maybe Bob Malachy, the manager, is hoping that he can give him 3 or 4 and then just keep the line moving with one reliever after another.
The 1-0 pitch is too low for ball 2, and the Idaho Falls Chukars have not dipped into their bullpen very much. Obviously, their starting pitcher going 8 innings yesterday, and then the pitcher in the day before that, Josh Learson, going the full 9. So they've only had to use one reliever in the last 2 games. The 2-0 pitch, an off speed at 70 miles an hour that just kind of rainbowed into the zone.
And with the success that Chase Valentine has had at times in this series, Idaho Falls knows that if they want to have success, they got to keep him off the base pass.
This one is hit into right field, blooping into the gap between the right and center fielder, and the leadoff man is on in the form of Chase Valentine.
Just kind of muscled the ball into the outfield. That was an 85-mile-an-hour fastball in the inner half, and he just did what he had to do to get on base, and now he's certainly a stolen base threat. He leads the Raptors with 32 stolen bases, and the Raptors as a team have been very aggressive on the base pass. They have 115 stolen bases as a club in just 53 games.
Kyler Stancato is up to bat now. Lefty, first pitch to him is a called strike in the bottom part of the zone. The team with the most steals this season is actually the Red Pocket Mobiles. They've got 145. The Ogden Raptors are 4th in the league with their 115.
By comparison, the Chukars are last in the league in stolen bases with just 44.
Stancato falls behind 0-2 after the called strike and then a foul ball. So Stancato, teal bat over his left shoulder, lightly hits this one. It bounces off of the glove of Barenti, and that will be an error, and both runners are able to stay on base. I guess I'm assuming it's an error as it bounced off Barenti's glove. It's still a tough play. But in that instance, if you're Barenti, you might just want to let the ball go over your head and let Barrera behind you handle it at second base.
Not a very hard hit ball, and because of that, they are going to give Stancato a base hit according to the scoreboard. It's one of those where it was a slowly hit ball, and even if the second baseman comes up with it and the pitcher doesn't make contact, it's possible he might have just had one play at first if he charges, because Valentine does run pretty well down the line.
So yes, according to the scoreboard and our stats, that actually is going to be a single. The pickoff throw is not in time to second base. Chase Valentine, though, had to really hustle to get back in time. Carmine Lane up to bat now, sitting in the right-handed batter's box.
It's a little bit disconcerting considering it's 95 degrees and it looked like they were working on the air conditioning here in the GCB Computers broadcast booth.
Runners go. The throw down to second is well wide, and there won't be a play made. So both runners steal their bases, and that makes the stolen base total up to 117. DeMarcus Smiley has not been the consistent catcher for the Idaho Falls Chukars this season or in this series. And as you were saying, Tyson, I do feel like the air is coming out of our air conditioner much better now. But we have 2 open windows here in front of us, so you're never going to get
That's true.
that much ventilation. We're being informed that they pulled the filter out of our air conditioning.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. I'm not an expert in that area. I'm not an expert in many areas, as the 1-0 is foul out of play. But I can tell you that my air conditioner was broken at my my family home, where I'm living right now, up in Park City, and my room was 85 degrees for about 3 weeks.
That's a little bit warm.
1-1 count to Carmine Lane with runners on second and third, no outs. Off-speed pitch is weighted on and hit into right field. A bit of a blooper, but that's going to go down as a base hit at the warning track. Rolling now. Chase Valentine coming home to score, and Kyler Stancato practically chasing him in very close behind for 2 runs, and Carmine Lane responsible for a 2 RBI single.
Valentine hit it towards right center field, and Lane did so as well. Very similar pitches on the inner half, and for Lane, he just got a little bit more air under it than Valentine did, and just got between Wyatt and Canton. And for Carmine Lane, that's 2 more RBIs. That's RBIs number 58 and 59 on the season. And the Raptors certainly could use a big inning, and they are in the midst of one right here in the bottom of the first.
So they have now equaled their run total of yesterday's game in just the first inning. Colson Lawrence swings and misses on the first pitch that was well inside. Have to feel like with the prowess of the Raptors offense that it's just a matter of time for them to really come back and recover. An 0-1 half swing essentially by Colson Lawrence is strike 2.
Lawrence been a strong power threat at the plate. He's got 5 pretty good tools, and he's got 16 homers on the season. He could look for a long ball here. But a big part of the success so far for the Raptors is the fact that the guys aren't trying to do too much. And really, when you've been in a bit of a slump as the Raptors have been offensively over the last couple days, you just get back to the basics. Just try to hit the ball up the middle or hit the ball the other way and not try to do too much with it. And I think that's what Ed Campanella likes about the 2 at-bats by Valentine and Lane.
That one, not a great at-bat as Colson Lawrence strikes out swinging for the first out of the inning. Designated hitter, Tyler Stone up to bat. Stone, a newer addition to the team. He played against the Ogden Raptors as a Missoula paddlehead, as many of the players did. Jose Ballista, Parker McMahon, and Tyler Stone all played in the series against the Raptors as paddleheads, and now all suit up as paddleheads or as Raptors for this game. First pitch to Tyler Stone is a little bit too high for ball 1.
Outfield pretty straight away. The infield's looking for a double play ball.
Runner on first is Carmine Lane. He's been forced to dive back in to first base a couple times for the pickoff throws. Crowd continuing to fill in as it was a 1 p.m. start on this Sunday. Not the most common time to be at a ballpark. Here comes the 1-0, and that one misses outside as well to make it 2-0.
But I'd argue it's my favorite time to be at a ballpark.
So you're a day game guy.
Absolutely. I love day games. Hence the reason why I showed up here today. Love the 1 p.m. starts. Sit out in the sunshine, get some sunscreen, and enjoy a ball game.
2-0. Swung on and hit very, very hard. 106 exit velocity, but it exited at 106 about 50 degrees out of the diamond.
A couple of people standing outside the ballpark are going to hustle after it and get a souvenir.
2-1 count now to Tyler Stone. He showed off his power back in game 2 of this series when he came in to pinch hit in an inning where they were trailing by 3, and he hit a solo home run to give the Raptors what felt like a chance. He bounces this one, and they're going to turn one over at second and get the second out over at third. The first and second outs of the double play, the second and third outs of the inning, and that will retire the side for the Idaho Falls Chukars. But Carmine Lane hits a 2 RBI single, and the Raptors currently lead this one 2-0 heading into the top of the second inning on the Ogden Raptors broadcast network.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
LWE has become an industry leader and performed new construction and retrofit work to companies in several industries. LWE is located in northern Utah and has performed work throughout the western United States. We can be reached at 801-621-3220.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors broadcast network. Top of the second inning, and Parker McMahon is continuing his workout on the mound. He went a perfect 3 up, 3 down in his first inning of work. This one on a 1-hop, handled by Chase Valentine at short, and given off to Sebastian Greco for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out.
First non-strikeout for Parker McMahon, but once again, a first pitch strike that was down in the zone. And certainly with McMahon, he goes straight over the top, and with that, he gets good downward movement on his pitches. And when he's on, he can get a lot of ground balls, just as he did right there.
So now that's going to bring up Justin Trimble. And we are going to be joined by Evan Parker, as always, in the top of the second inning. Evan, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Thanks, as always, for joining us. We appreciate the time. What was the conversation like in the clubhouse last night after a bit of a heartbreaker there?
Not much, to be honest with you. You have to show up and play every day. I mean, I talked about this early in the broadcast yesterday. I said, look, you can't be 2 up, 2 down. You got to just show up and play. So we swept these guys at home the last time we played them. We knew that coming into this, it's just, baseball is going to average itself out to a degree. We still feel like we can do what we want to do today and get a win. So that's going to be the goal. And then we'll just try to keep rolling from there.
Parker McMahon was a guy who was on your roster, wasn't on it for a couple weeks, and then is back. What kind of belief do you have in him?
Oh, wow. I'm not kind of looks fair to me, but
I would have to agree from this vantage point.
Yeah. Anyway, we traded for Parker. He looked a little tired. And what I did is I sent him up to pitch in the Mavericks League, which is something that I'll do if I think that, I just say, hey, go work on something. And I have a good friend up there, Scott Bender, who's a manager. And I said, hey, man, this guy's going to get 10 days of rest or so and come up and get a couple of starts for you. And then I think he went like 13 innings and struck out 18 and walked 2. And so he was back to himself because I just thought he looked tired here. And so he got some rest and basically went on a rehab assignment. It's kind of like what I call it,
Absolutely. Evan Parker, manager for the Ogden Raptors. Thanks as always for the time.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Full count to Justin Trimble, and it's fouled away. Tyler Wyatt grounded out on the first pitch of the inning.
And during that at bat with Trimble, there was a ball at first base. And, it looked like it was fair over the first base bag. But the first base umpire called it foul. And Greco and the first base umpire continue their conversation about that particular play right now.
Next pitch is fouled away as well. It's a relevant conversation as obviously could have been an out in this at-bat already, and now you're continuing to battle in this full count offering.
And really just looking about where's that ball when it crosses first base. At that point, it looked like it was pretty close, but Chukars got that call.
Another foul ball out of play. Justin Trimble continuing to battle as that one hits the metal retaining, I don't even know what to call it. The roofing? The metal roofing probably is what it is.
Keeping everybody's really happy for that roof because that's given some shade over in the third base side. And a lot of fans are occupying those seats behind the Raptors dugout.
And the next pitch, a strikeout. So Parker McMahon walks away with the victory from that inning, or that at-bat, excuse me. And it's going to be his fourth strikeout of the afternoon already in just 2 2/3 innings.
Pretty good battle. He was able to get Trimble to chase out of the zone high. Already 4 strikeouts for McMahon. And it's interesting what Evan Parker is talking about, giving him a little bit of rest. And once he's gotten that rest, he's been dominant.
First pitch is swung on and missed by Parker Lester. A half-hearted swing that kind of saw him lazily bring the bat around his back afterwards.
And you do see a little bit extra on the fastball for McMahon. It's not necessarily the velocity. He's throwing about 89, 90 miles an hour today, which is about what he was throwing before, but it seems like there's a little bit more late life to it than the first stint before he got sent over to the Maverick League.
0-1 pitch to Lester, and the bat comes flying out of his hands into the netting above his own dugout. Luckily, everyone's okay.
That's exactly what the netting's there for, is that would have ended up in about the third row. Probably would have hit a green seat, but Lester getting a little bit more pine tar on that bat to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Parker Lester, 0-2 count on him, 2 outs. So far, McMahon has faced the minimum, looking to keep that going. Lester in this series had the best game 1 of any Chukar. Since then has been fairly reliable as he swings and misses on the next pitch, and it's 5 strikeouts and a 6-up, 6-down start. Parker McMahon is throwing it well. We'll be back for the bottom of the second inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
Don't be a bench warmer. Call the insurance center so that you can get on the field and have a good time and get your insurance done properly. Go Raptors!
This can keep a battle buddy safe from the risk of suicide. I get it, it's just a phone. But when you call a friend, you show that you care, which can help them fight their inner battle. Now drop and call 20 people.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. A beautiful Sunday afternoon. And it's interesting to see the fans here at Lindquist. All of them have kind of made their way into the upper half of the seats to occupy the shade that can be found. All of them enjoying the free food that's offered on Sundays, trying to get rid of all the food before the weekend and the week series away starts. And plenty of patrons also staying hydrated with the various Pepsi products here at Linquist Field. Brinty's first pitch is a called strike to Gio Ferraro, the 5-hole hitter tonight. 6-hole, excuse me. 0-1 count to him. Gio had a great start to this series, going 8 for 9 with 4 home runs in the first 2 games. The 0-1 pitch misses too high. He's cooled down slightly since then, going 0 for 4 in Game 3, 2 for 4 in Game 4, and then 0 for last night. So he's now just 2 for his last 12. 1-1 pitch is hit high in the air, but foul out of play. We were told before the game that there was going to be a, quote, concerted effort to keep the pace of the game moving. Obviously, this is the getaway game.
Well, it seems like Brenty's gotten the memos. He's getting on the mound, he's getting his sign, and he's delivering. He's not taking much time between pitches.
1-2 pitch about to income from him. Way outside. But it's been a pretty good series in terms of time of game. Obviously, just with the amount of knock on wood, but with the amount of pitching prowess that there has been and the limited number of walks, they have not had a game where we had more than 10 walks between the two teams. Pace has been good. Big swing and a miss by Gio Ferraro on a ball that was way up high out of the zone for strikeout number 2 on the afternoon and the first out of this inning.
Pitchers are throwing strikes, and it seems like they're getting the hitters to chase a few times there. Ferraro chased one out of the zone a little bit high, and so it is a little bit refreshing to see both pitching staffs do a pretty good job, and it's really not that surprising because the managers of both of these clubs are former pitchers themselves.
First pitch to Sebastian Greco is too high. Greco batting .347 right now. He joined the team about halfway through the first half of the season, so a quarter of way into the whole season. He's racked up 50 hits in the 34 games that he has played in. Next pitch works up and inside, kind of near his chin. Greco sports a blue helmet with the face guard that extends all the way down from the right ear of the helmet. I think if I was playing, I would also be rocking one of those.
Yeah, I'd do whatever I could to protect my face at all costs, even if there's no reason for me to protect my face at any cost.
The 2-0 pitch misses outside, and it's now 3-0.
Greco will tell you one of his favorite memories came on July 1st when he hit a 3-run walk-off home run here at Linquist Field, and what was a thrilling victory against the Boise Hawks.
Especially in kind of a very back-and-forth season between the Ogden Raptors and the Boise Hawks, where the Hawks kind of had their number in the first series and then a little more back and forth in series 2. They've now played each other on 4 different occasions. One of them just a 2-game series, a weekend series, but they have seen each other the most of any two teams. 3-1 misses too low, and Greco works a leadoff or a second batter up walk. I'm creating terms.
Very creative. The Ben Franklin of the Ogden Raptors broadcast network.
Tyler Gannis up now. Gannis getting his first start in a couple of weeks as he's been feeling more of a pinch runner and a pinch hitting role. Tyler Gannis's parents, or his dad specifically, I think is one of our most active users of the text line, as he hits this one to a gap between first and second base, and that's a base hit for Tyler Gannis. Good to see him getting action in the first inning rather than in his pinch hits. But I learned yesterday from Tyler Gannis' dad that he was the voice of, I think the singing voice of Teen Elsa.
Really?
In Frozen.
That's an interesting thing to put in your resume.
I learned more about just this entire team as the year goes on. And I think that the facts I love the most are the non-baseball related ones.
And Tyler Gannis seems to have the best ones. Not only him, but his family.
Runners on first and second for Dylan Wilkinson, the left-hander. Wilkinson is working behind the plate today. On the defensive side, first pitch to him misses too high. I do feel like the catchers always have the best awareness of when to challenge and when not to, even on a batter's standpoint, just because they're obviously aware of the zone at all times. The 1-0 pulled on a rope that'll go down as a base hit into right field. Stopping at third is Sebastian Greco, Gandis at second, and Wilkinson at first. So a walk and 2 straight singles have the bases loaded as they roll over into the top of the lineup with Chase Valentine.
That pitch got a lot of the plate, and when the Raptors have had success offensively here in the first trip of the order, it's because they haven't tried to do too much. It was just a line drive by Wilkinson, and the Raptors have something rolling with that in mind. Looks like manager Bob Malacky is going to come out and talk with his pitcher. Nobody's warming up in the Idaho Falls bullpen, but as you had mentioned earlier with the Chukars not having to use much of their bullpen, they might bring some guys in just to get some work in because they haven't pitched in a few days and could use the work.
Much better start for the Ogden Raptors from an offensive standpoint, and you hear Evan Parker talk about it in the interview we had with him earlier. It just feels like it's a matter of time before they bounce back. They know that they are a good batting and good offensive team, but it's hard to overstate how almost unrecognizable the Raptors were the last couple of nights. They got shut out in Game 4 only with 7 hits, and then last night they obviously had the lead for the majority of the game, but they only scored 2 runs off of 8 hits.
That's why Evan Parker always talks about the ups and downs for a season. You're going to have stretches like the Raptors have had over the last couple days, but you just got to come back to the ballpark the next day with kind of that same attitude and see if you can find a way to produce a little bit more. And, the Raptors didn't get too down after Friday and Saturday's games. They just kind of kept their head down and kept working, and they've seen some success as a result here this afternoon.
Chase Valentine singled to right field his last time up. This one, a chopper. They'll get the first out at second and the next out at first, but Sebastian Greco is crossing home plate, but the one out that was recorded thanks to the Gio Ferraro strikeout means that touching home plate doesn't matter. So the Idaho Falls Chukars turn 2 and get out of a jam. It's still the Ogden Raptors with a 2-run lead as we head into the top of the third after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
At GCB Computers, we specialize in high-quality, refurbished computers that save you money without sacrificing performance. We believe in use it before you buy it. Come into our showroom, power up your future computer, and test it out yourself so you can buy with confidence. Visit GCB Computers online at www.gcbcomputers.com or call 385-515-1797. That's GCB Computers, the computer you need at a price you can afford.
Nothing I do seems to pay any dividends,
How many of you feel the same as Alexander?
Yes, me. Yeah, for sure.
How many of you have been following the steps?
I want to, but it's hard to remember all of them.
Right? Same here. It's way too complicated.
Let's take a break.
Is it over?
Get your money working by becoming a member of America First Credit Union today.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Parker McMahon thus far has faced the minimum 6 up, 6 down. 5 of them have been struck out. Hoping his next victim will be the DH, Wes Mitchell. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1.
All right, what can you say about McMahon so far? Attacking the zone, and he's been able to get quite a few chases from eager Chukars hitters, and he got one right there on the first pitch to Mitchell.
Mitchell bats at .297 on the season, who swings and misses on the next pitch as well, and it's now 0-2.
Mitchell with those bright yellow batting gloves. You can see those from 5 miles away.
The dish gloves is, I think, what we decided they looked like the other day.
Gardner gloves.
Dish gloves, Gardner gloves. 100%. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that is a 3-pitch strikeout that gets Mitchell looking. And Parker McMahon has struck out 6 of his first 7.
It is a getaway day here. Is that a 6-7 thing? It might be. 6 of the first 7 struck out by McMahon. He's on a roll so far, and you can tell it's a getaway day. Both teams want to swing the bats here early in counts.
the Ogden Raptors will be playing the Glacier Range Riders, I believe.
I believe so.
First pitch is fouled away by DeMarcus Smiley.
Actually, they've got
Or is it the
three
Voyagers?
games against Great Falls and then
Yeah.
3 against the Glacier Range Riders in a 6-game road trip.
Here comes the 0-1. This one is hit by Smiley into left field. Coming in on it, and to his left is Colson Lawrence, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. 8 up, 8 down so far to start this game.
That looked like a little 7-iron out towards Colson Lawrence, just kind of casually. And with that, we got a bit of a golf clap after it from the fans here at Lindquist Field.
I love the golf reference out of you, Tyson.
Open Championship final round was today.
Ryan Fox taking the win there. Here comes the first pitch to Emilio Barrero for called strike 1. Barrera has not played thus far in this series. He hits this one into right field. It's tailing, and it is foul. Barrera, though, has seen action for the team thus far throughout the year. He has played in 27 games, started in 23 of them. And the batting average, though, not a lot to speak of. 202 with just 17 hits on the season.
But he has been a pretty good glove man, and that's partly why he's in the lineup today, and that's partly what his role is with the Chukars. He's a pretty good second baseman. You've seen him on a couple of occasions turning double plays, and he did a pretty good job on the pivot there in the second inning on that double play ball that was hit by Valentine.
0-2 count on him now. Next pitch just misses outside to make it 1-2. What we could see as well, just to keep an eye out for, Garrett Ostrander had a pretty good offensive series thus far. If they need the bat, they could bring Ostrander in later in this game. This one is flied into right field. Barely needing to move is Tyler Gannis, and he settles under it for the third out of the inning. 9 up, 9 down. Parker McMahon has faced the minimum through 3 innings. We'll be back for the bottom of the third with the Raptors leading it 2-0 on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out. We're cheap, just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10.
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket. Like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Every journey starts with a dream, and all dreams come with a price. Saving is an uphill climb, but with goals, determination, and the right partner, there's no dream you can't reach. No peak is too high. Bank of Utah provides all the tools and support I need and is with me every step of the way. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Bank of Utah today.
This is Hannah with the Ogden Raptors. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, videos, and accounts of this game is prohibited without the express written consent of the Pioneer Baseball League. Copyright 2024. Pioneer Baseball.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. So far, it's been the Parker McMahon Show. 9 up, 9 down with 6 strikeouts. But the defense of the Chukars doing pretty well so far as well through 2 innings, allowing 2 runs, but a couple strikeouts on Barinti's name right now. He'll go up against Kyler Stincato for the first man of the 3rd inning. And what the Idaho Falls Chukars have done really well so far is just work their way out of innings. Both the 1st and 2nd inning have ended on double plays.
Yeah, it's been, for the Raptors, obviously 2 runs on 5 hits, but certainly could be a lot more than that through 2 innings.
Next pitch misses too low, and it's now 2-0. Stincato playing center field today. He's been more often than not in left field when he does play. The guy that was the #1 draft pick for the Ogden Raptors last year. Here comes the 2-0. He hits this one into right field on a rope, and that's a base hit to start off the 3rd inning.
He's got a pitch down the middle of the plate. And that was 84 miles an hour. And Stancato has been a nice line drive hitter for the Raptors all year with a hard hit ball, 100 miles an hour off the bat, and he leads off with a single. Barenti's not a guy that's going to throw hard. He's going to throw 84, 85 miles an hour. He's going to try to get those ground balls like he had in each of the first 2 innings, and he's looking for another double play ball here.
They've already turned 2 double plays so far in this game. One of them off the bat of Tyler Stone, the other off the bat of Chase Valentine. First pitch to Carmine Lane is way up high for ball 1.
Lane's got the big hit so far. He had the 2 RBI single to right center field, driving in Valentine and Stancato.
1-0 count with Stancato on first. A little bit of movement in the bullpen for the Idaho Falls Chukars, but it's mostly just guys stretching, and the 1-0 pitch is up high. Two-0 count to Carmine Lane. Just continuing to get hotter, and like I said, still no wind. So the ball probably going to carry as the 2-0 catches the part of the zone for strike 1. The ball likely going to carry, except for the fact that, like I said, the air just feels kind of heavy with how hot it is, kind of muggy. But definitely need to make sure that you are staying hydrated right now. Pickoff throw forces Kyler Stancato to dive head first back into first base.
That's really the big thing these guys have got to combat, is find a way to battle the heat. Staying hydrated, as you mentioned, and just doing what they can to stay cool.
2-1 now to Lane. That pitch misses too low. Carmine Lane never using batting gloves. Just says he doesn't like the feel of it. But I got to imagine on a day like today, when there is over 95-degree temperatures, that it's got to be getting a little harder to hold on to the bat. Here comes a 3-1, and the pickoff is back to first base. Stancato there in time. Although I will say, the man earlier, I believe it was Parker Lester, whose bat came out of his hands. He was wearing batting gloves.
Yep. Just slipped out of his hands. For Carmine Lane, he probably likes the feel of the bat. Probably feels like he can get a little bit better control without the batting gloves.
The 3-1 is hit up into center field, going back to just shy of the warning track is Tyler Wyatt to make the catch. And Stancato will retreat back to first base. First out of the inning has been recorded.
It almost feels like guys are just hitting the dog days a little bit. And for Lane, it's one of those that almost feels like a couple weeks ago that would have been a home run, but just got it off the end of the bat a little bit, and that turned out to be the first out of this 3rd inning.
Colson Lawrence up now. And I don't know if this is the walk-up song that he has selected or if this is just more of a feature on the video board, but the Jaws song is playing. First pitch called strike, the dun dun.
That'd be an interesting choice if that's what he went with.
I don't hate it. It's a choice, but I like it. I mean, with Colson Lawrence, the 2nd best batting average on the team and the most home runs and RBIs, it does feel like there's almost a warning sign above his head to opposing defenses when he steps into the box.
Lawrence played center field a lot, but it's in left field today. Stancato's playing in center. Usually there's a lot of teams where you know that there's going to be one player that's going to have the same walk-up song in every team across the league.
The 1 is fouled back in the netting in front of us. So Tyson and I were talking the other day that I said I didn't think it was possible for a ball to get to us. But then both in the booths to our left and right, there are broken windows. So
we're due.
We're due. I just want a highlight reel play of me catching a ball in the booth while announcing it. It happened in the MLB the other day as the 0-2 is lifted out of play, foul.
There's one of 2 things that could happen. 1, you could catch it, or 2, your laptop would be destroyed, and you need a new laptop.
We'd like to avoid that one. My laptop is less than 2 months old.
Well, it's a pretty tough angle there because you're almost going to need to somehow reach your hand outside and make sure to catch the ball before it gets into the booth. Because once it gets into the booth, there's going to be equipment that's going to be destroyed.
0-2 pitch. Misses just barely outside. Smiley tried to stick the frame a little bit. That's true. The second the ball would come in here, it would kind of be on us to protect everything that needs protecting. All the various equipment. 1-2 pitch incoming, and it's another pickoff throw. Stancato has Barenti's attention. That's about the 4th or 5th pickoff throw we've seen. The other day, Joshua Ijeka, one of our cameramen, was down in the Raptors dugout, and the top of his transmitter got taken off by a foul ball.
I think they're going to be working to try to get that thing fixed later on this week.
Do the 1-2 this time, no pickoff this time, and Colson Lawrence lifts it foul, so he continues to stay alive, just kind of biding his time until he finds a pitch that he likes.
Harry Carey used to have a net outside his broadcast booth, trying to get extra foul balls.
We haven't even had one come close to the booth this year. I don't even think one has been popped up over the net in this direction. 1-2, 1 out. Stancato with about a 15-foot lead off of first. Next pitch is in the dirt. Good block by Smiley, and Stancato stays where he is. Count is now 2-2.
Good thing with the Raptors being a team that steals as many bases as they do is it takes a little bit of the attention away, especially from a left-handed pitcher like the Chukars have this afternoon. It's not just the stolen base, but it's the threat of the stolen base. And Stancato is a guy that has pretty good speed.
And then you just have that left-handed pitcher's eyes just staying that beat longer over on first base, not locating the catcher's glove as soon. The runner does go, and the 2-2 is pulled into left field by Colson Lawrence. That ricochets off of the wall, and with the great jump that Stancato had, he's easily able to make it to third, and Colson Lawrence makes it to second.
Almost looked like a bit of a hit and run there, and Lawrence, well, he nailed that one. That was 113 miles an hour off the bat. That's elite. That's almost big league type of bat speed, and that's big league type of power off the bat. And Lawrence with a double, and that was just an outstanding at bat. Worked to get his pitch, then he got one towards the middle of the plate, and he just destroyed it into left field. And if it would have got any sort of air under it with as hard hit as it was, would have been a 2-run homer.
Yeah, it just didn't have a lot of air, but it, according to TrackMan, had it not hit the wall, it would have landed at 329 feet. That wall out in left field is 335. Here comes the first pitch to Tyler Stone, and it's caught on a couple hops by the first baseman, and he'll get it over to third base, where they now have Kyler Stancato in a rundown. Stancato in that pickle. Colson Lawrence is going to advance to third and now go back, and they're going to tag Stancato for the second out of the inning. Or the third out of the inning, excuse me. Colson Lawrence ran all the way back to second like the inning was still going. But just some tough base running, as I think that Colson Lawrence thought Kyler Stancato was going home, so he ran to third. And then the Ogden Raptors had a situation where they had two runners both standing on third base. After 3 innings, it's still the Raptors 2 and the Idaho Falls Chukars 0. We'll be back for the top of the fourth after this break.
Remember, we always keep an eye on our debris burn until it's completely out.
Mom! Always keep an eye on our debris burn until it's completely out.
That's right. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out. We're cheap, just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10.
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket, like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Top of the fourth inning, the Raptors with a 2-0 lead. And Parker McMahon has been elite so far. 6 strikeouts in 9 batters faced, and he has faced the minimum.
What can you say for Parker McMahon? First time through the order, and he's been throwing first pitch strikes, and he's been able to get the Chukars to chase on a few occasions, and he's been in rare form here this afternoon.
First pitch is too low to Ty Dooley, who struck out swinging his last time up. Facing the minimum, the latest that you're ever going to round back over to the top of the lineup is in the 4th inning, and that's exactly what McMahon has achieved. The 1-0 is hit high in the air to left field. Going back to the wall is Colson Lawrence, and that ball's gone, bounces. We're waiting for the motion from our umpire.
Bounced off the wall, and
It's going to be a ground rule double, looks like.
It looked like it was going to. It looked like it was just about to float out of there, but bounced off the wall and rolled past Lawrence and turned into be an easy double for Ty Dooley. Seemed like the ball with the white signage on the wall, it seems like the ball, especially when it ricochets off the wall, it can kind of hide a little bit.
Runner on second after the double for Ty Dooley. First pitch is a ball too high to Casey Vaughn.
And probably a good thing for the Raptors that there really is not much wind to speak of, as I was able to stay in the ballpark. But it was one of those, it seemed like it was just about to float out of there, but just found a way to stay in.
Vaughn pulls this one, and that's going to be strike one after it sails foul. There's a pretty tall stone and brick wall out in left field, and it's absolutely covered in advertisements and banners and everything like that, and almost all of them have a white background, so the ball can kind of disappear on you, like you said, Tyson.
And yet, in Raptors Ridge, most of the signs are not white.
This one, though, does look like it has a lot on it, as the 1-1 is lifted to right field, and that one is a no-doubter. That one's out of the park for a 2-run home run, and the Idaho Falls Chukars have tied it up.
That was on the outer half, and it looked like Vaughn just extended his arms and got plenty of it. You know, McMahon was perfect through the first trip of the order, and it looks like the Chukars are making their adjustments, knowing that McMahon's going to be around the plate. Dooley almost hit it out, and Casey Vaughn left no doubt, as that one went 368 feet.
Still no outs in the top of this fourth inning, and it's Sam Canton coming up to bat. Parker McMahon really facing the first adversity he's had all day. First pitch called strike in the bottom part of the zone to Canton. 0-1 count to Canton. He's playing right field today. Off-speed pitch misses too high to make it 1-1. Sam Canton is the best bat on the team for the Chukars. He bats at .391. Best batting average of anyone with significant at-bats. Here comes the 1-1. This one is lifted into right field. Similar spot to to Vaughn. And that one, same result as Vaughn. Out of the ballpark, a home run.
McMahon just got a little bit too much of the plate there, and Canton, who's got pretty good pop, just left no doubt. That was 401 feet. And after a great first trip of the order, Chukars, who have been a solid offensive club all year, even with the tough first month of the season, they get a 3 spot here in the top of the fourth.
Still no outs, back-to-back home runs in basically the same location. Canton and Vaughn both lefties and just pulled that one. Canton's goes a little bit farther, going 401 feet. Foul ball goes just into barely the top part of the netting, as the fans at Linquist Field next to us, I think, wanted it to come over. You got a couple fans ready with their baseball mitts.
Yeah, that would have found a way to about the top 2 rows of seats, and fans are very disappointed that it hit the top of the netting.
Tyler Wyatt tattoos this one into left field on a line, and that's a base hit for him. So Parker McMahon, after facing the minimum through 3, is getting lit up in the top of the fourth.
Boy, that was one that just kind of found a little bit too much of the middle of the plate. And the top of the Idaho Falls lineup all year has been pretty productive, and Tyler Wyatt has been one of the most productive hitters for the Chukars all year, and he just got plenty of it, 104 miles an hour off the bat.
Justin Trimble, the tall lefty, up now. First pitch is a called strike in the bottom part of the zone, and he's going to do a red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. It's a called a called strike, and it's going to be confirmed a strike. So the Idaho Falls Chukars are now down to 1 challenge. The Chukars lost their first challenge of the game very early in the first inning yesterday. It ultimately didn't come around to matter, but it is hard to lose those challenges in the starting half of the game.
Interestingly enough, it wasn't really the home plate umpire that was orchestrating the challenge. It was the base umpire that seemed like he was doing all the movements with the challenge.
Here comes the 0-1, and that one misses too low for ball 1.
Looked like the base umpire, Michael DeBoer. It wasn't really the home plate umpire that was signaling the challenge much. It was the base umpire that was doing all the movements, which you don't normally see. Normally, it's just the home plate umpire who's orchestrating all that.
This one is pulled into right field. That's going to go down a little bit shy of the warning track for an extra base hit. Going from first to third is Tyler Wyatt, and Justin Trimble stands on second.
Just another ball that found a little bit too much of the plate, although that one was more on the inner half, low and in. And Trimble, the left-handed hitter, just put a good charge into it. And you'd almost like, if you're the Raptors, well, you'd like to slow this momentum down. Obviously, you got the pitch clock, and things were rolling so well for Parker McMahon, and you'd love to see Wilkinson go out there, and that's what he's doing right now. It's not necessarily to get the bullpen up, but you want to slow down the momentum, and this is probably, quite frankly, a batter or two too late. You'd like to see somebody, even if you don't have anything good to say to Parker McMahon, you just want to slow things down, and that's what the Raptors infield's doing right now.
Dylan Wilkinson, not the most used catcher for the Raptors, as that role is filled by Hank Dodson. And you just kind of wonder, maybe would have Dodson gone out a little bit earlier, slowed down the momentum like you talked about. I think, if you're looking at it, you give up back-to-back home runs. Maybe that's the time that your catcher just goes out and is just hey, you got this. Even talk about the weather, man, it's hot out here. Anything to slow down the game.
Or what's going to be what we're going to watch in the bus on the way. And with the pitch clock, it's very simple, and we've seen this throughout all the levels of baseball that have the pitch clock. Is sometimes, a pitcher, after giving up a couple hits, you need something to slow it down. And even with the pitch clock, it's easy. You just keep rolling and rolling, but, you'd love to see a mound visit like we saw right there, just to slow things down for that pitcher.
First pitch to Parker Lester misses a little bit too low. You've got Tyler Wyatt on third and Justin Trimble on second.
Seems like the corner infield is playing in. They're going to try to get the out at home if the runner at third takes off. And the middle infield, it looks like they're going to try to turn two.
This one on the ground. Sebastian Greco will take it himself over to first base, and the runners stay where they are. So that one pretty much by design for the Ogden Raptors defense. And they do finally get their first out of the inning, and the runners are unable to advance.
That was a perfect ball by Greco, and once he got the ball, he checked the runner at third. He knew he had plenty of time to get the runner out at first, and he made sure to check the runner at third and made sure that he was staying there. Also was checking the runner at second to make sure he was staying there before getting the easy out at first.
First pitch to Wesley Mitchell is a called strike on the outside of the zone. Mitchell struck out looking his last time up. He was part of the 6 strikeouts in the first 7 batters of the game. Mitchell satisfying the DH role today. He has played left field a couple times. Here comes the 0-1, and the off speed is a little bit in front of him and just barely tapped back into the netting in front of us.
Right-hander loosening up in the Raptors bullpen, and that's tall right-hander Dylan Gardner.
Dylan Gardner went out to the bullpen shortly after the double got given up. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. And that's the 7th strikeout of the night for Parker McMahon, looking a little bit more like the beginning of the game McMahon that we had rather than the 4th inning McMahon.
And that visit to the mound might have been just exactly what Parker McMahon needed. Got the ground ball, and he got Mitchell out, and a pitch in the inner half that looked like a foul tip that was caught by Wilkinson. And now with 2 outs, the runners, the Raptors infield can kind of play straight up.
DeMarcus Smiley flied out to left field his last time up. Left-hander going against the righty McMahon, who kicks and deals. First pitch a bit too high for ball 1. Smiley didn't get any action in this series until Game 4. Went 1 for 3 in both Game 4 and Game 5, both games that the Chukars have won. The 1-0 pitch is flied foul up the left field line.
Smiley out of Alabama State, and you can see why the Chukars were interested in him with that swing. It did go foul, and he was a little bit late on it, but the ball just kind of jumped off his bat. As you see with a lot of catchers who are well-built and they've got a good lower half, looks like he's got some pretty good pop at the plate.
1-1. Smiley batting .424 on the season and limited at-bats. The next pitch works inside on him. 2-1 count to him. DeMarcus Smiley has the best batting average of anyone on the team, but he has only had 59 at-bats. 424 batting average. Here comes the 2-1, and that one misses low. Ball 3. Chukars have shown their patience and their belief in themselves throughout this series, especially last night. They trailed the entire game and then came out trailing by 1 in the top of the 9th inning, scored 4, and walked away with a victory. 3-1 count now to Smiley from McMahon, and he fouls this one up and out of play up the left field line as well, kind of going over the Ogden Raptors bullpen.
You know, with all the adversity the Chukars have had through the first month and a half of the season, as they certainly were not themselves in the win-loss column, and with that adversity, now that they're on the other side of that, it's going to be pretty tough to rattle that Chukars team, as they're going to be able to overcome just about anything if they can overcome what happened to them the first month and a half.
Payoff pitch, and that's right down the middle for called strike 3. Smiley strikes out looking, and after a rough start to the 4th inning where Parker McMahon gave up a double, 2 home runs, a single, and another double, he then sits down the next 3 and limits the damage. It's currently Idaho Falls Chukars 3, Ogden Raptors 2.
Hi, I'm Christopher with Absolute Comfort Heating and Air, and I would do anything to keep my customers comfortable. And when it comes to family, I would do anything for love. I'd fix just about anything. You know I would do anything for you. I won't do that.
But you won't do that.
At Absolute Comfort, I'll do whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network, bottom of the 4th inning, and we are joined now by manager Bob Malacki for the Idaho Falls Chukars. Manager Malacki, can you hear us?
Yes.
Perfect.
How you doing?
Great. How are you? Thanks so much for joining us again.
No problem.
A very hard-fought win for you guys last night, just staying patient. You trailed the entire game until the top of the 9th inning. What was said in the dugout between the bottom of the 8th and the top of the 9th?
Oh, these guys just never give up, and they grind out at bats when they can. Good pitching and good defense beats good teams, and that's what we had a little bit of last night.
How do you feel like the improvement in your pitching staff has also helped you guys create offense?
It's huge, being able to throw strikes and get ahead of hitters makes a big difference. When you're falling behind hitters, gives hitters a better chance to hit. We walk guys or hit guys, put guys on base. It just makes it really tough. Your pitch count starts getting up there, then start making more mistakes. We're attacking the zone, being a lot more pitch efficient, which helps our defense, be ready to make plays behind them.
All right, Manager Bob Malacki, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Gio Ferraro just hits a 464-foot bomb. That is one of the deepest balls I have seen at Linquist Field this year.
That's the second deepest one I've seen this year. Chase Valentine hit one 480 feet in the first homestand of the season. Gio Ferraro, safe to say he got all of that one, and it seemed like the mood of Bob Malacki changed a little bit once he saw the flight of that ball. As now we're tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 4th.
I used my best interest and thought maybe a coach didn't want to be interviewed after they just gave up a moonshot.
That's happened a few times this year.
It has, and it's fine when it's the the manager of the team that just hit the home run. Oh, you get the visiting manager, and it's tough timing for sure. It's a 1-1 count now to Sebastian Greco. That home run by Gio Ferraro has tied the game back up at 3. Greco walked his last time up, but then ultimately got stranded. So far, every single inning, all 3 have ended for the Idaho Falls Chukars defense on double plays.
Which is certainly tough. That means, you talk about being a 3-3 game, but with those double play balls, you're talking about the Raptors not necessarily maximizing the run total here in the early portion of this game.
Definitely a lot of what ifs when you look back at the base pass. And the next pitch is an off speed that catches the top part of the zone for called strike 3, and Sebastian Greco strikes out looking.
That's a pretty good curveball. That was kind of that slow bender at 73 miles an hour that found the top of the zone. And really the big part is Berenti's done a pretty good job getting that over the plate for a strike on a consistent enough basis to where Raptors hitters have to respect it.
Tyler Gannis stepping in now. He singled to right field his last time up. Gannis, a right-hander, squatty stance with an open left foot. First pitch to him, misses outside and too high for ball 1.
One of the fun things every time you come to a game here at Lindquist Field is on the third base side over in the concourse, you see kind of those historical photos, whether it be the 4 guys in the 1960s or Frank Robinson in the Ogden Reds.
Next pitch to Tyler Gannis misses as well, so it's now 2-0.
I thought of Frank Robinson there with Bob Malachy, the former Baltimore Oriole. In fact, when he was an Oriole, his manager was Frank Robinson.
2-0 pitch, and that one misses too high as well. So Tyler Gannis with a 3-0 count on him. Gannis spent time at Ogden. He's in Ogden now. He spent time in Oregon for his college baseball after spending 2 years at Northwestern, and played his high school ball at Harvard Westlake in Los Angeles, California, and he works a 4-pitch walk to get on base.
2 fine institutions there, and Gannis with a pretty good eye to get a 4-pitch walk. In fact, of all the schools I wanted to go to, I wasn't smart enough or rich enough to get to any of them. But Syracuse, Northwestern, and Arizona State were my top 3, and instead I went to Salt Lake Community College.
Dylan Wilkinson up now, stepping into the left-handed batter's box. Smiley is just going to walk Berenti back to the mound, and they'll have a couple words together. Dylan Wilkinson is in his 2nd year with the Ogden Raptors and has just been such a team player and the epitome of utility player. He has now played, by my count, 5 different positions this year. He has played left field, right field. He's probably played center, honestly, so we can make it 6, I would guess. He's played second and first, and then he has also caught.
And that adds a lot of value to Wilkinson's resume. Certainly for any team out there, any affiliate club, he's certainly somebody that can provide a lot of ability there, and he's a good line drive hitter as well.
First pitch goes right over Wilkinson's head. If he hadn't ducked, it would have just tattooed him right in the ear. Ball 1.
Looks like a right-hander starting to loosen up for Idaho Falls. So you got matching right-handers. Dylan Gardner continues to loosen up, so it's possible we may see him in this 5th inning.
Tyrus Riley is the right-hander warming up for the Chukars. So a 1-0 count to Dylan Wilkinson. Runner on first is Gannis. That next pitch is in there for called strike 1. Raptors have lost 2 straight. They've been issued their first 3 losses to Idaho Falls all season. They swept them and were 7-0 after the first game of this series against them. The 1-1 misses outside. But recently, the Chukars have won the last 2 games, and Ogden, after having the 3rd best record of anyone in the Pioneer League at the first half of the season, are now 2-3, sitting in 7th. The 2-1 pitch is on the ground, but foul by Dylan Wilkinson, and it's now 2-2. You got the Idaho Falls Chukars, who are almost in the inverse position, where 2nd worst record in the Pioneer League at the first half of the season, and they have just started off very, very well in the second half of the season. Yeah, a 3-2 record, but those 3 victories have been very convincing, especially the last 2, as Wilkinson has a bug in his eye, and he's going to step out of the box and take time.
Well, Friday was the rare complete game shutout here at Lindquist Field. You don't see that very often. It seems like you don't see that very often in any level of pro baseball, but especially in the Pioneer League.
Especially at the higher level when you have good bullpens, there's the argument that you don't want the batters seeing your pitcher too many times. The 2-2 misses, does not miss. Is a called strike 3 on the outside of the zone. Dylan Wilkinson is going to use a red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. It's a called strike, and it's overturned for a ball. Unsurprisingly, that one missed by a lot.
Well, you had mentioned catchers know the strike zone as well as anybody, and Dylan Wilkinson knowing the red pocket mobile strike zone challenge well, as he knew that one missed the plate, and so he gets to stay alive. Seems like Wilkinson at the plate has done a pretty good job in the challenge systems this season.
Wilkinson 1 for 1 on his day with a single. Stands out there ready for the left-handed delivery. He waits on an off-speed and gets this one into center field, and it's handled by an incoming Tyler Wyatt, who had to jog a pretty decent distance from where he was set up in deep center to record the second out of the inning.
It looked like initially he got a bad jump. Then once he was able to spot it, looked like he wanted to casually go over there, as I think he wanted Gannis to believe that he didn't know where it was, to maybe get Gannis to move out a little bit more towards second base to where Wyatt maybe had to throw it first. But Gannis did a pretty good job of recognizing that Wyatt had a beat on it and didn't venture off first base too far.
Back to the top of the batting order for the third time today is Chase Valentine. A first pitch is a called strike inside to him, and he's going to immediately do the red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. And the strike call is overturned for a ball. Matt Beaver has been, to put it kindly, the most inaccurate umpire that they have had in this series. This is his third time behind home plate, and it's been a questionable strike zone. Batters, though, know that as well. They've already dealt with him twice. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's too high, ball 2.
Well, it's kind of tough. You know, sometimes, you know, especially before the challenge systems, you'd get a day game like this, and the home plate umpire would set a pretty big strike zone, knowing that both teams wanted to get out of there, especially on a getaway day where Idaho Falls is going to get on a bus, and then Ogden probably gets on a bus tomorrow for the state of Montana. But you can't really do that with the challenge system.
The 2-0 is hit very high in the air. It's in foul territory. DeMarcus Smiley retreating to the backstop, but the ball is going to go into the stands, just shy of the area where all the fans are sitting in the shade. You can see the shade is kind of creating a line that denotes where people are sitting and where people aren't.
Right there on row 6, and it looked like a youngster was able to come away with a souvenir. Looks like the ball is about as big as his hand.
Exciting day for the youngster. So now it's a 2-1 count on Chase Valentine. Tyler Gannis is the man at first with 2 outs. Raptors took a 2-0 lead early in this one. Idaho Falls with a 3 spot in the top of the 4th, but Gio Ferraro tied the game back up in the bottom of 4th, beginning of this inning, with a big shot, solo shot. Big swing and a miss makes it a 2-2 count for Valentine. That's Ferraro's first homer in 2 games. Ferraro obviously had 4 in the first few games. Gannis is now getting caught in a bit of a pickle. He slides in to second base, and he is safe. Tyler Gannis jumped the pitch. Barinti threw behind him to Lester, and even though it looked like it was going to be a surefire, either a pickle situation or an easy out, Tyler Gannis just putting on the wheels, turning on the jets, and making it to second safely.
Lester kind of hesitated a little bit too much. Maybe he was waiting for the shortstop to get over and cover second base. But Lester didn't release the baseball in time, as Gannis, with good speed, was able to get to second.
2-2 misses inside, and it's a full count for Chase Valentine. Gannis now in scoring position on second. Chase Valentine's going to take time, and that's going to be, I mean, you talk about a stolen base. That one by Gannis was genuinely just taken out of the jaws of the Idaho Falls Chukars.
Yeah, look at Dooley. You know, he's playing a little bit towards a pull right-handed hitter. He's not necessarily close to the second base bag, and so it looked like Lester was just waiting for Dooley to get there in a comfortable spot to where he was comfortable releasing the baseball, and it was just a little bit too late.
Payoff pitch is pulled into left field and out of play now into foul territory.
Towards the concession stands there in left field.
So far, Barinti has had a lot of success going up in the zone. 2 of his 3 strikeouts have occurred against Lawrence and Ferraro on balls that were up and out of the zone but got them swinging. 3-2. He's probably still going to be challenging the strike zone, but I would guess might be trying to get Valentine up. This one, though, down in the dirt. Gannis is trying to take third, and he will do so. And Chase Valentine easily making it to first, and now thinking of turning 2 and deciding to stay where he is after the walk. So the Ogden Raptors manufacturing a little bit of base running to get runners on the corners now. 2 outs for Kyler Stancato.
That was at 82 miles an hour. Valentine did a good job not chasing it low and in the zone. And how about Tyler Gannis? Aggressive base running to get the second there when it looked like he was going to get picked off, and got a great secondary lead. And with there being 2 outs and a full count, he was taken off on the pitch anyway and was able to get to third easily.
Going to say that he advanced on a wild pitch. So runners on the corners for Kyler Stancato. He's 2 for 2 tonight with 2 singles. First pitch misses outside and too low for ball 1. Stancato and Bradley Pell were kind of fighting for a spot in the starting lineup to begin the season, and it still has been kind of a switch-off role. Stancato controlling it slightly more right now as the 1-0 misses outside to make it 2-0.
And you wonder with the 2 right-handed hitters after Stancato, if he's able to reach, we may see a new pitcher there with Lane and Lawrence due up next.
2 outs and runners on the corners. Kyler Stancato open stance, teal bat over his left shoulder, and he swings and tips the next pitch foul. Stancato shares a couple words with Smiley, as I think that foul ball might have clipped him. So Stancato just checking, make sure the catcher is okay.
Might have caught the umpire too as well. Might have been a double dipper there.
2-1 count, 2 outs, runners on the corners. The Raptors tied up with the Chukars right now, 3-3. Just 1 run shy of all of the runs that we had in last night's game, and that curveball works and starts up and out of the zone and dives back into it to make it a 2-2 count. Stancato looking to bring at least 1 run home. Tyler Gannis trying to get the attention of the pitcher as he dances down the base pass, but it's ultimately Chase Valentine getting Barinti's attention and inducing a pickoff throw.
You wonder if Valentine might give himself up and see if Gannis can still a run there, as Valentine's off to a huge lead at first.
Can't give himself up too early, though, because there are 2 outs. Here comes a 2-2 pitch, and that one is hit into opposite field. Fair, and Tyler Gannis is going to come around from third to score, extending to third, and now coming home is Chase Valentine as that ball worked its way all the way into the left field corner, and Chase Valentine makes it home safely. So Kyler Stancato's ball just toes the line, barely stays fair, and makes its way all the way into the deep left field corner, enough to score Gannis from third and Chase Valentine all the way from first.
Just a huge base hit for Stancato there, and Bob Malacki arguing a little bit with the home plate umpire about whether it was a fair ball or not. It looks like we're going to get a new right-handed pitcher, just as I had thought, with the 2 righties coming up in Lane and Lawrence. And with the Chase Valentine, might be the fastest of all the Raptors, and he scored standing up, but he didn't score by much. If it was anybody else on the base pass, it's possible that either they don't take off from third or it's possible they would have been out at the plate. So luckily it was Chase Valentine that was the trail runner from first, and he was able to score to make it a 5-3 game.
So that's going to be the end of the day for Julian Barinti. And the next pitcher that you have coming in is Tyrus Riley. Tyrus Riley, the 6'6" right-hander from Bentonville, Arkansas. Played his college baseball at Florida International University. He has come in to pitch 1 time already so far in this series. He pitched back in Game 3, went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit, no runs against 3 batters faced. Game 3 was that game that the Idaho Falls Chukars lost 9-6. So he'll warm up and get ready. 6'6", one of the tallest pitchers that you're going to see in any level. And he also throws from a pretty vertical arm slot, so it's reaching up to probably closer to around 7 feet when the ball starts its release from him.
Gets good extension. With his straight over the top motion there, you know he's going to get good downward movement. He's probably a guy that when he's got his egg stuff working, he's able to get a lot of ground balls.
This is the earliest that the Idaho Falls Chukars have gone to a new pitcher in the last 2 games. Obviously, you've got the complete game, 9-inning shutout by Learson, and then 8 innings thrown by Seth Spencer yesterday. So being in the 4th inning and having a new pitcher, a new territory for the Idaho Falls Chukars in this series. If you want to chime into our broadcast today, whether you're watching on HTN or listening on the YouTube audio stream, you can text in at 385-240-1121. That's 385-240-1121. Let us know what you've thought of the series, where you're watching from. Are you watching the World Cup as well? Let us know. Spain taking on Argentina right now in the final of the World Cup. That game's been going on for an hour 20. Started at the exact same time that our game did. Tied up at 0 in the 46th minute right now. First pitch is a called strike to Carmine Lane.
Wait, a scoreless soccer game? Color me. I'm shocked.
Strikes me that you're not a soccer fan, Tyson.
Not necessarily.
0-1 pitch. That one misses way outside, and it gets past Smiley, and that's going to be enough for Stancato to take third.
Riley's going to be one of those guys. He's pretty tough to catch. He's got pretty good movement. That was an 87-mile-an-hour pitch, and it's one of those that his control can be hit or miss at times, and especially with the runner at third, Stancato's got to be alert, especially with 2 outs. Anything that gets past Smiley, Stancato wants to make sure he ends up breaking this, adding a little bit of insurance to the Raptors as they currently lead 5-3.
Lane hits this one out of play over the stands.
Now, I would give soccer a shot if I knew a little bit of the intricacies of the game. Tried to figure out a little bit more of the strategy. Then I'd probably enjoy it a little bit more.
So basically just need a little more education.
Yes.
1-2 count to Carmine Lane. 3 runs have already come across the plate for the Raptors in this bottom of the 4th inning. And Lane seems to hold back on the next pitch. Stancato is caught in a rundown as the ball got to the left of Smiley. And now Stancato running home. He'll have to slide past the pitcher and not able to do so. Riley tags him out as he tries to go home. And that's the second time today that Kyler Stancato has been caught in a pickle on the base paths. That ends the inning. But the Ogden Raptors score 3 runs, and they take a 5-3 lead heading into the top of the 5th on the Ogden Raptors broadcast network.
Whatever you do, don't drop the ball at the Raptors Stadium. And we don't want to let you drop the ball for your insurance. We want to make sure that you have the proper coverage and the best price. Here at the Insurance Center, we're going to take care of you. We've had a great relationship with the Raptors, and we want to have a great relationship with you. Your auto, your home, your life, your health, your business. We have experts that are there to take care of you. We've been doing this for a long time. We are your trusted choice insurance agency here locally. We are the only best practice insurance agency north of Salt Lake. Realize that we're going to take the best care of you. Give us a call, 801-622-2626. Look us up online, www.insurancecenterut.com. We're here to take care of you and hit the ball out of the park.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out. We're cheap, just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10.
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket, like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors broadcast network. New pitcher on the mound is Dylan Gardner for the Ogden Raptors, and the new man in the booth alongside me, Arden Locke, is Dave Baggett, the owner of the Ogden Raptors. Bags, thanks for coming in.
Yeah. Oh.
Tough start. Gardner beans his first batter that he faced, who is Emilio Barrera.
You know, I don't have a problem with that if he did it on purpose, but he didn't do it on purpose. It's funny, Arden, I was going to talk about the importance of first pitch strikes and offensively the importance of discipline on first pitches. And I got to see if we can roll up a double play here.
Coming into bat is Ty Dooley, back to the top of the batting order. First pitch is called strike in the bottom of the zone. So there we go, first pitch strike.
You asked me the other day my thoughts on hitting the first pitch. And I remember telling you, well, it's okay if you have the discipline to do it. In the last 2 nights, I really don't think we have. Tonight, they got the message a little better. Through 4 innings, we've only had 4 first pitch attempts in 12 batter, or 4 innings, so 12 outs. And it's resulted in 5 runs. Of that, the 4 balls that were first pitches, we back that up. Of the 4 first pitches put in play, we had a swing and a miss. We did have a hit, but we had a ground out double play and another ground out. So discipline tells you, again, when you're looking at the first pitch, you're looking for your dead red pitch that you can drive. That one pitch, the double play, was a 5-4 3 bases loaded double play. And that kind of killed us.
Yes, Greco calls off everyone in foul territory and settles under the foul pop out for the first out of the inning.
Now, with that said, we scored 2 runs in the first inning with only 1 at bat where the first pitch was swung at. So we're 1 for 4 swinging on the first pitch. It's okay if you have the discipline to hit. And again, because if you get 1-0, you got a severe advantage as the batter now instead of 0-1.
Gardner's first pitch misses outside to Casey Vaughn. Vaughn is one of the 2 owners of home runs in this game for the Chukars.
And that was a bomb, too. And again, but if the count's in your favor, and even if it gets to 2-0, you've got the same discipline that you want to have on the first pitch. It's got to be your zone pitch that you can drive. Because even if the pitcher throws a pitch that's a strike that's not your pitch, you're still ahead in the count. The advantage is in your favor. So far, we're playing that pretty well with some good discipline, which is why we've got 9 knocks and 5 runs.
It's the highest run total and the highest hit total that the Raptors have had in the last 2 nights.
3 nights. Wasn't it an 8-6 game 3 nights ago?
Well, yeah, that's not the highest run
hit
total because they scored 6 runs in the game 3.
Your job is to announce, not correct me.
Well, but then sometimes I got to backtrack and see if I'm the one who's wrong because I would say just 80% of the time.
As I'm here, let me clarify. You're the one who's wrong.
No, and I would say 80% of the time I think you're right.
You think I'm right?
Yeah, that I'm wrong.
80% right, 100% of the time.
2-2 count now on Casey Vaughn. You said a bomb, but the biggest bomb we've seen tonight was that Gio Ferraro shot, over 460.
And you heard it sound off the bat a little differently, didn't it?
I was interviewing Bob Malachy when it happened. So we wrapped that one up quickly.
Real quick. Thanks for hearing. He's a great guy.
Oh, we've had great managers all willing to come on the broadcast. It's been awesome. Pickoff throw over to first. Keeps
Well, we have
Emilio
made some
Barrera.
base running mistakes tonight. Kyler both times. The second time, I can understand, but this one here, this last inning, if he kept going, he scores without a play.
It was the decision that turned back, you're saying, is kind of what cost him. 2-2, swung on and missed. Dylan Gardner picks up his first strikeout of his outing.
Yeah, 94 miles an hour, and he threw that. That was 2 inches out or half. Again, hitters have to protect with 2 strikes, especially if they're behind in the count. And if you could throw off the plate and still get outs, it just makes your job that much. Look how much bigger the strike zone is now. And we've got to get them to waste one more challenge so we can play the rest of the game with this umpire giving everything.
Yeah. Third time that Matt Beaver has been the umpire behind the plate, and he has had a wide zone.
Good. That's why I don't like the challenge system. You want to get the ERs down, give the umpires back the ball game.
1-0 count. Barrera is still the runner on first.
All right. Now it's 2-0, and the advantage is to the hitter here. So whatever Barrera's red zone is, that's always zooming in on. If Dylan throws a curveball in for a strike and he takes it, then tip your hat.
And it's a 2-0 count to the best bat on the team. And the ball gets past Dylan Wilkinson on a wild pitch, and Barrera is going to take second.
So I'm going to track these first pitch swings that the Raptors take all night. The entire fourth inning was not one first pitch swing. So we're 1 for 4. But the two ground outs weren't, again, if you unless you hit the ball in the hole for a base hit that's 100 miles an hour off the bat, you shouldn't be hitting ground balls when it's your dead red pitch. You should be driving line drives and hitting, banging walls.
3-0 pitch right down the middle. 4 called, strike 1. Okay, then what's your thoughts on swinging on 3-0?
Depends on who you are. I would only give that to maybe 1 or 2 guys on the team, but you've also got to establish that early in the season to find out which batters have the discipline to do it. That ball's gone.
That one is tattooed into the Raptors Ridge area. And like you said, 402 feet for a 2-run home run that ties this game back up at 5.
Look where he pitched it. That's prime rib.
Sam Canton, the leading batting average man on the team, showing why right there. That is his 16th home run on the season, and that takes the team lead.
Just another point that when you get behind in the count, you get pounded. So now let's see what kind of gumption Dylan has here, and comes back. Again, it's a tie game. So,
like you said, tie game. Tyler Wyatt, the reigning batter of the week in the Pioneer League.
Yeah. And this guy, I wouldn't throw this guy a fastball. He shouldn't have had a fastball since Wednesday. I don't know if he's had any because I haven't been here the whole time. But he tends to pull off everything. And if you throw him a slider away, he'll chase.
Here's the important question, Bags. Have you been here for any of the wins?
No. I'm the problem. Actually, I was here Tuesday night when we won.
True.
That was an 8-6 game, right?
Tuesday night was game 2. No, Tuesday night was game 1. Yeah. That was the 8-6 victory. Feels like a long time ago now. 1-1 is
ball's gone.
Lifted into left field.
He threw him a fastball.
And as well, back-to-back home runs. Dylan Gardner's head is in his right hand. And second inning in a row where the Idaho Falls Chukars have hit back-to-back bombs.
I'm speechless.
Quiet around the ballpark. The only noise coming from the Idaho Falls Chukars dugout. The Chukars have now taken a 6-5 lead. And it looks like this is more of the game we were expecting between these two teams with the best and third best offenses in the Pioneer League. You're expecting home runs, long balls, a lot of scoring. That's what you're getting so far.
Well, the one thing that doesn't happen in today's game, and it's not just our level, it's all minor league levels, it's even at the big league level, is nobody knows how to make hitters uncomfortable anymore.
You're saying they're letting them dig in?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Mr. Bavacqua, if he's watching at home, I'll send you a question right now. What would Bob Gibson or Raleigh Fingers or Nolan Ryan do if they saw a player dig in the batter's box before his first pitch? Give him the text line number if he doesn't have it.
385-240-1121 for the text line. Or if you have any questions to ask Dave Baggett, you can also text in as well.
You have to make the batter uncomfortable. I'm not saying you have to hit him. You have to back him off the plate. There's nothing worse than a hitter than when you make him have to sit on his heels. When you're sitting on your heels, you can't generate any torque. Same thing with the frickin' golf swing. You know, you have to be on the balls of your feet. Make him uncomfortable. Now he's 3-0. He's got a challenge. You can't afford.
3-2.
Yeah.
This one is pulled into foul territory over the Idaho Falls Chukars dugout. They'll do the payoff pitch again.
It was a good pitch. That was 85. Must have been a slide piece. But it's down and in the quadrant. And so it was a strike pitch. But the only place he could protect and hit that ball was foul. Now I work away. See if he can throw the same pitch on the lower outside quadrant. See if we can get a punchy here.
Payoff pitch once again from Gardner, going to the left-hander Trimble. Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning.
What a shocker. Locate.
So an inning that allowed three more runs to come across the plate for the Idaho Falls Chukars. And 2 home runs, back-to-back home runs. We're going to take a quick break.
No, let's stay here.
Okay, we're
going to
stay here.
about something.
Dave Baggett's going to talk.
You Arden folks who got her opening round tomorrow night at Oak Ridge Country Club in the defense of her 2025 Utah State Amateur Ladies Tournament. You are the reigning champion. You go out at what time tomorrow?
Morning, 7:46, I believe.
How do you feel about your game right now? You're a busy woman.
I'm a busy woman. Obviously, everyone knows that we've had a 6-game homestand.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of range time before the night games, but I think I'm playing freer than I have in past years.
Do you think your prep is as good as it was last year?
Not at all.
Not at all? So
my prep has been great for our broadcasts, though, so that's what matters.
Yeah, you do. You prep better than anybody I've ever met.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I just, we wish you the best. We're pulling for you. You've got the pedigree. You're a champion, regardless of the outcome. And, when you talk about the layout at Oak Ridge, and I know you've gotten a couple practice rounds in, what would you say how the course plays for your game?
I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a fun match play course because all the par 5s are reachable in 2, but they all are either surrounded by water, bunkers, or there's a lot of risk reward. So I think that's going to lend itself well to match play. My driver feels good right now, so I'm excited about that because there's a couple narrow holes out there. Playing from the fairway is definitely an advantage with the firm greens.
Well, you only need 2 inches.
True. That's very true.
How's the rough? They got to cut up a little bit?
It's not terrible. There's parts that are thick, parts that aren't. I've played it twice, and the green speed was really different on the 2 times I've played, so I'm assuming I'm going to get the faster greens.
Here's what I predict, folks. Tomorrow in her opening match, she's going to hit there's 14 fairways. She's going to hit 12 of them, and she's going to hit at least 10 to 11 greens in regulation.
I don't think you've ever watched me play golf.
You're going to have to scrap out a few pars, but I think you'll get that. So let's see first pitch here, Carmine Lane. And again, we're going to track the first pitches. And again, I don't mind if you go after it if it's your pitch that you can drive.
So we'll see
We're 1 for 4 so far on first pitches.
Right-hander Tyrus Riley is still in the game. Swing and a foul ball on the first pitch.
Yep, and it was a strike, and it was a little hanging, so that's okay. He tried to hit a mistake and got under it a little bit.
Carmine today with a single and then a fly out.
So also of the first pitches, we've scored 2 runs off of it. So if people are so into analytics like they are, swinging at the first pitch does not guarantee success. It can. That ball's out of here, so we'll tie that game up.
That is a moonshot by Carmine Lane to left field, and that might have hit a car out on the road beyond left field at Lindquist Field, and we're tied up at 6. And that is the second home run of the game for the Raptors and the 6th of the entire game.
Yeah, that was basically the same curveball we threw that Carmine fouled off. He didn't miss that one. He sat back on that and gave that a...
How far did that carry?
401 feet and 2 inches, mind you. But it doesn't go down on the list because it wasn't the first pitch. So Colson is prone to swinging at the first pitch no matter where it is. So let's see if he's got the discipline to... That was in the zone. It's a good pitcher's pitch, however.
Tyler Wyatt comes in from center field and makes the grab for the first out of the inning. First pitch swinging by Colson Lawrence.
Look where that is on the zone.
Bottom part.
Now, he got out, believe it or not, he got out a little bit ahead of that, but that was touching the bottom quadrant center cut. The question you'd have to ask yourself for Colson, is that your pitch? And if you're hitting the bottom quadrant where half the ball is sticking outside the square, I'd say the answer is no. But it's hard to give up on a pitch that for you looks like it's in the center cut. Now, you took that pitch, Tyler Stone did.
Called strike.
It was a strike, but it's not your pitch to hammer.
High and inside.
He's going to try to throw the same curveball right here. See if Tyler stays closed. Oh, he threw a fastball. I'll be damned.
Fastball top of the zone. Stone fouls it off.
So now if you're a pitcher, you're saying, okay, my job just got easier because I'm 0-2. Pitcher has to cut down on the swing now and just make contact and put something in play and hope something good happens.
Stoney's still looking for his first hit of the night. He's actually hit into 2 double plays. Good news for him, no runners on.
Yeah, there's the one guy with Stoney. You do not want to see him hit the ball on the ground. And he knows that.
He's got a lot of power.
Yeah, he's got
some of that power doesn't make him the fleetest of foot.
Oh. I thought that was a strike, but the umpire who's missed 6 of them today got that right. And it is 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Tyler's just got to protect.
You can't see north-south very well from our vantage
coming
point.
Inside. Here comes the curveball. Fastball. Boy, am I off today.
Fouled away. We'll do the 2-2 again.
Well, the catcher was set up inside, and so he missed location. Those damn birds chirping again on the sound system. Mine. All right, come on, Tyler. Run the pitch count up. Attaboy. Full count.
Lays off on the outside ball, and like you said, Bags, it's 3-2. What have you thought of Tyler Stone, former Cornhusker? Added to the team this week.
Go.
He swings and misses on a 3rd pitch strike that gets away from Smiley, and so he's going to take first on the drop, strike 3.
That's a strikeout and a wild pitch.
Bags is informing our statistician.
The official scorekeeper. Is there any comments on the text line?
Oh, here we go. We've got, I think this is Kurt. Yeah, Kurt Bavacqua is answering your question.
Back them off the plate, like you said, to let them know that you're out there. I talked exactly that to the pitchers when I was there. By the way, Gibson would drill you in the ribs. If they see you, dig in. And that's the way the game was policed for 100+ years. Now, you got batters that are wearing armor. That takes away some of the fear. And the way the game's played, which is offensively minded at all levels, including the big leagues, if you throw inside, everybody gets warned.
1-0.
Ooh.
That one missed too low. Gio Ferraro laid off the first pitch.
He did. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Now, he's ahead in the count 2-0 because he laid off the first pitch. Now, he's still looking for something to drive. If not, take it. Good job.
That one's up high, 3-0.
It looked like it had a lot of gravy on it to take a hack at, but he took it. He's 3-0. He's the kind of guy in this situation
who could
I
swing.
might give him the green light right here.
My guess was Lawrence and Ferraro getting the green light on the 3-0.
Yeah, I think so. Colson has a tendency to his strikeout ratio, I think, is a little bit higher than Gio's. I think Gio's might be a little bit better contact guy, but throw him something to hit right here.
Ferraro has not swung the bat yet. The 3-1 misses way up high, and that's a walk.
So he didn't swing the bat at all?
Nope.
So that bat was a coat rack.
Not something you always see from Gio Ferraro.
Now, one thing I've enjoyed seeing Sebastian so far today is I do not believe has swung at a first pitch yet, and he always swings at the first pitch. And
do you think that's a concerted effort?
Yeah, I think it's been discussed. I also think our captains had a little meeting with the players to talk about plate discipline, and they're also part of it. So, you know, the coaches can only do so much. The players have to determine what type of team they want to be. And Cole and Carmine got together and had a little chat, and so far it's showing. I mean, 6 runs, 10 hits, and we're in the bottom of the 5th. So offense is, you know, like you said, the number 1 and 2 offenses in the league. Now, Sebastian here, again, if they went out and talked to him, he would say, don't throw anything prime choice on the first pitch. He'll chase. But let's see what happens here.
Runners on first and second for Greco. That one works inside on his toes.
Yeah. But
Ball
again,
1.
It's okay to swing at it if you're looking for your pitch. And he was geared up, ready to unwind on that one. His corkscrew was wound up, ready to twist off, but it was a ball and in, low and in. So now let's see if he can turn on one here. Give him something he can just break, please.
Next pitch is high and away for ball 2. 2-0 count.
Yeah. Now, Same thing as the first pitch. You're looking dead red. You're looking for your drive pitch. If you don't get it, you take it. And if he hangs a curveball and it's not your pitch, let it go. There it was, but he didn't get it down. So 3-0, what's Evan Parker going to do? He just gave him the signal that if he gets his pitch, he can go ahead and drive. And you know what? I'm okay with that in this. One big fly here can open the game.
Here comes a 3-0, and it's grounded.
Just roll
Foul.
over the top a little bit. So 3-1, same position as 3-1.
If you're going to put that on the ground, you'd rather honestly probably do it foul in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, you
runners on
don't-
first
no.
and second.
Where was that pitch? That was not a good hitter's pitch. But he got the green light. So that same concept, 3-1, it's in your advantage. Ball 4.
Another walk.
Okay, so how many batters have we had this inning? This is our 6th batter? 7th?
This will be our 6th.
And of the 6, we've only had 2 first pitch swings.
Carmine, right?
And when you make the pitchers work, instead of giving them free outs with bad swings, you get guys out of the game. And it looks like they're going to yank this guy out. So we're going to get to their pen again, I believe. And Malaki's going to take the ball. So you can go to a Coors Light call to the bullpen now while this guy's warming up. Do we have a Coors Light call to the bullpen?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yes, they are. Who told you that? Go to a break, please.
We're going to go to a quick break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
If you're a business owner with 1 or more employees, you'll need a workers' compensation policy. A workers' compensation policy is required in almost every state. No matter what type of work, if your employee gets hurt on the job, a workers' compensation policy addresses medical care and lost income for injured employees, fatality benefits for families and workers killed on the job, and your potential liability for covered claims. Workers' compensation coverage is divided into 2 categories: workers' compensation insurance, which helps care for the injured employee, and employer's liability insurance, which protects you. At WCF, we provide safety training, medical care, return to work coordination, and more. When your employee gets hurt on the job, we'll take care of you both.
Little moments become big when you don't have to worry about your finances. Money can be a giant source of stress, but it doesn't have to be. Here at Ascent Credit Union, we work to empower our members to be able to manage their money easily, quickly, and most importantly, without stress. When you aren't worrying about your finances, you get to enjoy life more. That's why we are here. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Dave Baggett alongside me.
Did I throw anything colorful out there?
No. New pitcher is Blaine Fritcher for the Idaho Falls Chukars. He's got an 8.18 ERA in 7 appearances. This is going to be his 8th relief appearance.
Now, Tyler Gannis here, his job is I'd make him take a look at a pitch here. I would not go after the first pitch. We got the bases loaded. We don't need to leave these guys out there. And we swung at the first pitch.
Gannis fouls the first pitch off. That one had English on it, but it was middle. It was your center Hollywood square. 0-1 count. Bases are loaded for Tyler Gannis with 1 out.
Hit him. I got a piece of him.
According to Matt Beaver, it did not, so it'll be now a 1-1 count.
What's his last name?
Beaver. Stop it.
I didn't say anything. You're the one who gave it up.
No, you started laughing.
I did not laugh. Don't say that.
1-2 count to
right.
Tyler Gannis.
Come on, Tyler. Put something in play. Cut down that. And he's really good at 2-strike contact. And look at it. He's choking up on the bat. He's old school. Let's just punch something into the outfield for 2 runs. That's it. There it is.
Blooped into left field, finding the gap between short and left field, coming around to score almost simultaneously are Tyler Stone and Gio Ferraro. Gio almost caught up to Tyler. And 2-run score. Gio Ferraro was chuckling as he was coming across the home plate. You can see on this replay here, he starts smiling as Tyler Stone and Gio Ferraro both touched home plate within a couple seconds of each other. 2-run score. And
But did he overswing on that?
no, not at all.
Just put it in play. Something happens. That's a great job by Tyler. It looks like a frickin' linea on the score sheet.
2 runs come around to score. Runners on first and second now for Dylan Wilkinson.
Change up down low. So really good job of the Raptor batters right now on plate discipline on the first strike and a count. Now we have swung at 3 of them in this half inning, 2 foul balls and a fly out. So again, proving that if you don't have the discipline, 0-0 in the count, you shouldn't. I'd almost take some guys and just put the stop sign on them. Give them at least take one. Take one pitch.
Wilkinson took the first one for a ball, swung big on the next one and didn't connect, and he fouls this one off that was up and in on his hands.
What's the score? 8-6?
8-6.
Johnny Lindquist over there. He can't get the scoreboard to work. It's not the scoreboard's fault because a chimp can do it. So what does that tell you about my partner?
I'm going to plead the 5th. 1-2 count to Dylan Wilkinson.
Come on, D-Will. Again, put it in play. There you go. That's going to get down the line. Stay fair, stay fair, stay fair.
And
yes,
that one does land fair. So Dylan Wilkinson will round first and take second. Coming around to score. Following closely is Tyler Gannis, and Sebastian Greco and Tyler Gannis both score, and it's now a 4-run lead.
That was pretty gutsy by manager Parker right there, because shortstop had the ball with his glove out in left center, or excuse me, short left field, when Gannis was rounding third, and he would have been a good throw. He would have been out by 10 feet, but that's why he played the game, because he panicked and dropped the ball. So now the Raptors, again, are cashing in with 2 out hits, which we haven't seen for the last couple of days, right?
Haven't seen a lot of hits in general in the last couple days.
So now Chase here, who also loves to go first pitch hunting, needs to, again, if it's center cut, go ahead and take a rip. If it's not, lay off. Between all 3 of the Idaho Falls pitchers, where are they at in total pitch count? Do we know that? They're at 117. So you make them work. And we're still in the 5th inning.
Swing and a miss on the 1-0. That was pretty far outside.
Probably about 3 inches outside. What they don't show us here, folks here on the TrackMan, is they don't show us the distance outside the zone of how much a pitch missed by.
I might have that turned off. We'll figure it out. 1-1 to Valentine. Runner on second is Wilkinson.
Get out of here. Get out of play.
He gets under this one, and it's failing into foul territory.
It's failing into foul territory, folks.
I'm not sure I said the right first consonant
Doesn't
for the
matter.
first 3 words.
Wait till you get older. Nothing you say comes out of your mouth with any sense whatsoever. Okay, same thing with Chase. Is choke up a little bit, and even if you don't, just cut down on the swing. Look away, react in. All hitters should look away and react in.
1-1.
Should be 1-2.
1-2.
Should be 2-2. Because he swung and missed it one. And aren't there 2 outs?
No, I think there's only 1 out because there was that strikeout, but Tyler Stone then reached on the wild pitch.
Oh. Yeah, isn't he got 2 strikes?
He had a foul ball, and then, yeah, he does have 2 strikes because it was the foul ball, and then he swung at the one that swept away from him. So now it's a full count, 3-2.
Yeah, the umpires are yelling full count. There we go.
Full count to Valentine. Shorter swing for him if he does. And he chased one that was up and out of the zone, lifting
he
it.
just didn't let the ball ride back in the zone a little bit, got out in front of that.
Sam Canton catches it in right field, shallow right field for the second out of the inning.
I mean, it's when you can put crooked numbers on the board, that's good for anybody. It's also giving our pitcher a little bit of a rest.
This is the best inning that the Ogden Raptors have ever had while you've been in the booth. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. All right, Kyler, right here. Again, he's got to close that stance when he gathers here. When you get that load, close that front side.
First pitch is swung on and into foul territory toward the bullpen of the Ogden Raptors, and a basket catch is made for the third out of the inning.
So he swung at the first pitch.
He did just that. So the Ogden Raptors put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they take a 4-run lead. We'll be back after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Bowman Kemp Manufacturing has been in business for over 50 years. From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems. The rebar and structural departments supply the United States, while the basement window systems division supplies the United States and Canada from coast to coast.
Are you okay? You seem upset. Turns out you were right. Our car was breaking down and we did need a new one with a loan from America First Credit Union. Me saying there was no hurry and to wait was wrong. Hey, on the bright side, we got to meet Huey.
Get your money working with our low-rate auto loans, now with no payments for 90 days.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of the Ogden Raptors Baseball Club and the Pioneer Baseball League. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Ogden Raptors and the Pioneer Baseball League is strictly prohibited.
Welcome into the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. New pitcher into the game is the left-hander Carson Kelly. So Dylan Gardner's outing ends after just 1 inning. And it's the third pitcher for the Ogden Raptors today. Kelly, first pitch incoming, sidearm delivery, catches the outside of the strike zone for strike 1 against Parker Lester. Tyson Whiting back with us. Tyson, welcome back.
Yeah, I just noticed I'm wearing the exact same shirt that Dave Baggett's wearing today. So we're kind of matching, kind of a teal-colored striped shirt.
The 0-1 is lifted. Going back on it is Chase Valentine in shallow left field. He makes the grab as he guards his eyes from the sun for the first out of the inning.
Good job by Valentine battling the sun. You know, normally on night games, it's the right side. Right fielder, first baseman, second baseman would have to battle the sun. But here in the afternoon, it's the left side that has to battle it. And Valentine battled Mother Nature and came away successful.
So after the 5-run bottom of the 5th, the Ogden Raptors have taken a 10-6 lead. It's the most runs they've scored since the first game of this series. This one, first pitch is swung on and hit into right field. That'll go down on the warning track as an extra base hit. The throw is coming in from Tyler Gannis, but not in time, and Wesley Mitchell stands on second.
Mitchell was 0 for 2 coming into that at bat. Just got something towards the lower part of the zone, and kind of interesting to see him swing early in the count. I know that you and Dave Baggett were talking about those first pitch swingings and just, you know, whether that's an important thing and, you know, a very successful way to go about things. But when you get one right there, bottom of the zone, probably where Mitchell likes it, you know, he's able to do some damage with it.
Brings up to Marcus Smiley, who's 0 for 2 on his outing. He's flown out and struck out looking. Left-hander going against the sidearm left-hander Carson Kelly, as that one is way outside. Wild pitch gets past Dylan Wilkinson, and Mitchell is able to take third.
As Bob Euchre used to say, just a bit outside.
That sidearm delivery can sometimes create that very outside pitch to a left-handed hitter or super inside on a right-hander where you just hold on to it a little bit too long, sweep across yourself a bit too much. So Smiley will now have a 1-0 count on him. Open stance, bat on his left shoulder. Here comes Carly's pitch. Swing on a miss. Swung on and missed. Yeah, good try. For strike 1.
He got the second attempt. First 3 innings, it looked like another pitcher's duel. Raptors were up 2-0 after 3 innings, but Idaho Falls with 3 runs in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and the Raptors, how about their offensive output? 3 in the 4th and 5 runs here in the 5th.
This one is very lightly tapped. Carmine Lane checks the runner on 3rd and gives it off to Greco at 1st for the 2nd out of the inning. And Wesley Mitchell holds up where he is on 3rd.
It's about as good a play as Carmine Lane could have made. Not only was he able to come up with a baseball, but he checked the runner at 3rd, particularly because he knew that Smiley, the catcher, who doesn't have great speed, was running down the line, and he was just able to calmly make the play.
2 outs for Emilio Barrera, who is 0 for 1 on the night, but he did get hit by a pitch his last time up. This first pitch is a bit outside to the right-hander.
I was outside enjoying a Pepsi product, and I will confirm that it is massively hot outside. Was it about 96, maybe 97 degrees out there?
It is for sure hot. Next pitch is a called strike in the bottom part of the zone. Weather app says 97, and there is currently a heat advisory for Ogden.
Ooh, that's a pretty strong fastball. A 97-mile-an-hour fastball will be overpowering, and the heat seems to be overpowering as well.
Next pitch catches the inside of the zone, and Emilio Barrero doesn't agree with it, but according to TrackMan, it was a correct call.
I thought it got a piece of the bat. Might have been a foul tip.
Barrera argued, though, with the umpire, saying that he thought it was inside. Here comes the 1-2 with 2 outs, runner on 3rd. That one's a bit outside. Barrera holds back. 2-2 count. Carson Kelly so far has just given up the double and has gotten 2 outs thanks to his defense with a fly out and a ground out. Looking to strand the runner and keep the 4-run lead for his team as they head in to the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. It's grounded right back up the middle. Ferraro moving to his right. He handles it and gives it off to Sebastian Greco after a slightly clumsy transfer out of his glove, but nonetheless, they record the 3rd out of the inning, and it's still Raptors 10, Chukars 6, heading into the bottom of the 6th on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Whatever you do, don't drop the ball at the Raptors Stadium. And we don't want to let you drop the ball for your insurance. We want to make sure that you have the proper coverage and the best price. Here at the Insurance Center, we're going to take care of you. We've had a great relationship with the Raptors, and we want to have a great relationship with you. Your auto, your home, your life, your health, your business. We have experts that are there to take care of you. We've been doing this for a long time. We are your trusted choice insurance agency here locally. We are the only best practice insurance agency north of Salt Lake. Realize that we're going to take the best care of you. Give us a call, 801-622-2626. Look us up online, www.insurancecenterut.com. We're here to take care of you and hit the ball out of the park.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome into the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network, and we are joined here in the bottom of the 6th inning with one of the co-captains for the Ogden Raptors, Cole Jordan. Cole, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
First time on the broadcast this year. Do we have any nerves? How are we feeling?
No, I'm feeling good. I want to see another Carmine bomb, but no, took a deep breath and here we are. I was just hoping that the microphone fit over the helmet, so we're good.
And he's ready, working out nicely.
Did I call that?
Did you
No,
call
he missed
it?
it.
No,
Nope,
just barely
he missed
shy.
it. Yeah.
Well, okay, Cole. So not to talk about moments of the past, but you did recently snap a 26-game hit streak,
I did.
which not that we were happy to see it end, but a very impressive feat there. Kind of what were you feeling in the box throughout those 26 games?
It was good. I was finding a way to get a hit, obviously, in 26 straight. Kind of just like an airplane, just cruising through the sky, just night in, night out. Felt good. A lot of one-fers, so kind of instead of the little roller coaster action, just steady the ship until you mix in 2 or 3 hits.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
good.
As one of the co-captains this year, it's your 3rd year on the team. What has it meant to you to have that kind of leadership this year?
Oh, it's awesome. When Skip called me a couple months ago and let me know that Carmine and I, Carmine's throwing seeds at me. I wanted to face one. Hey, okay. It means a lot. You know, he told me that Carmine and I were going to be captains, and there's a lot of responsibility with that. But it's been good. Carmine and I have really helped set the standard and lead the ship, and nothing but good things.
Absolutely. Cole Jordan, one of those co-captains, third-year Ogden Raptor. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Base hit for Colson Lawrence is the first base runner of the 6th inning for the Ogden Raptors. It's always exciting when we get the few games where, a Carmine or a Cole aren't playing and we actually can talk to them, because usually we talk to players who aren't playing that day, and Cole has played almost every single game this year.
Doesn't happen all that often. I mean, this is certainly, if you're going to give Cole Jordan a day off, this is certainly the time to do it with the temperature being what it is. And here, a day game after a night game, get him off his feet and get him a day's rest and get him ready for Tuesday on the road.
First pitch is outside to Tyler Stone.
Looks like the new pitcher for Idaho Falls is Quentin Graves, who went to Missouri Baptist University, native of Lake Mary, Florida. If I remember right, it's the 4th pitcher used by the Chukars so far this afternoon.
That is right. 1-0 pitch incoming to Stone, who hits this one foul out of play.
Graves looks like he's got a pretty good arm. That last fastball at 92 miles an hour. A lot of fun here this afternoon, but remember, a couple weeks from now, we've got a pretty good homestand against the Long Beach Coast in the month of July.
One of the top teams in the Pioneer League. Here comes the 1-1. It's hit hard by Tyler Stone in the air, but it doesn't have the knife behind it, and Sam Canton will come in from right field. When the ball pops out of Tyler Stone's bat, you think it always has the chance to go yard, but that one a little bit too much height, not enough distance.
Maybe just off the end of the bat a little bit. Graves with some pretty good downward movement on that pitch, and it's one of those that Stone didn't miss it by much.
Graves has not played yet in this series, but his last time out was in Billings. In Game 3, he went 2 1/3 innings in relief, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs against 14 batters. So he does have longevity, can go quite a few innings. The runner goes in the form of Colson Lawrence. The throw is in time, and the tag is in time as well. So the third out of the inning is made on the base pass. The Idaho Falls Chukars have gunned down the Ogden Raptor runners quite a few times in this series, and that's going to end the 6th inning. It's 10-6 in favor of the Raptors as we head to the top of the 7th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Kier has evolved into a diversified general contractor with experience in commercial construction. Hundreds of projects throughout the Intermountain West attest to Kier's wide range of expertise in design and build. Kier Construction invites you to experience the difference. Call us at 801-627-1414.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Tickets are on sale now by calling 801-393-2450 or at ogden-raptors.com, or simply stop by the Linkwitz Field box office in person at 23rd and Lincoln. The Raptors are the 9th highest attended sports team in Utah, including the colleges, and the #1 attended venue north of Salt Lake. And the next homestand, the Long Beach Coast homestand, that's one that you're not going to want to miss. First pitch is outside from Carson Kelly. He's going against the top of the lineup in the form of Ty Dooley. Next pitch outside as well, so it's now 2-0.
A lot of fun games coming up. The Long Beach series is July 28th through August 2nd. Big 6-game series. And Raptors will certainly be looking for some victories as Long Beach, if you're talking about the big picture, the playoff picture, Long Beach 5-0 coming into to start the second half of the season. They're on a roll.
A 3-0 pitch, a bit outside, but gets Beavers benefit of the doubt for first called strike to make it a 3-1 count. Here comes a 3-1 to Dooley. That one also catches the bottom of the zone. That one also, according to TrackMan, missed the zone. But the count is full.
Dooley not wanting to use a challenge there as he maybe thought it caught the corner.
Only one challenge left for his team, and he strikes out swinging on a bit of a prayer, a ball that was way low and outside in the zone. He's going to wish he had that swing back, but it's the first strikeout of the night for Carson Kelly and the first out of the top of this 7th inning.
That's one of those, it's 95 degrees and you're kind of swinging at just about anything. And seeing Kelly can be pretty tough on lefties with that sidearm motion, and he just was able to get Dooley there.
First pitch is an off-speed, 72 miles an hour, called strike against Casey Vaughn.
Not the last time the Chukars will face, the Raptors will face the Chukars. Chukars will be here in Ogden for a 6-game series in August.
That one hits the back right knee of, not Dooley, of Casey Vaughn. And so he's going to take his base after the hit by pitch. It's not often that you get the back right knee hit for a right-hander. It's oftentimes going to hit the front left first, but a lot of players stand with like that slightly open stance, and that exposes that kneecap.
Well, with that frisbee slider, that late movement, somehow it avoided the front leg, but was able to get the back leg.
So a runner is on first now for the left-hander, Sam Canton. Canton has 2 home runs today. He has homered in back-to-back at-bats. Got to be careful with this one, clearly. Canton has hit his 16th and 17th home runs of the season today. If you're looking at the Pioneer League as a whole, 17 home runs puts Canton in the top 3 for home runs by a single player this season.
Colson Lawrence among league leaders with 16 home runs, and with the home run that Gio Ferraro hit, he is now up to 17 home runs, tied with Canton, which I believe is tied for 3rd in the league.
1-1 count now. Carson Kelly will throw the pickoff back to first base, and Casey Vaughn dives in head first to be safe.
Also, guys, among league leaders, Kyler Stancato is 2nd in the league in batting average, and Chase Valentine is 2nd in the league in stolen bases. Valentine does have 1 stolen base. He now has 33 on the year.
Here comes the 1-1. That one paints the outside of the zone for strike 2. Matt Beavers outside of the zone to lefties is wide. But it's just something that the batters need to adjust to and pick up on. It's a 1-2 count now to Sam Canton. He's trying to go 3 for his last 3 for home runs. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and he swings and misses. He's way ahead of the 74-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, and that is 2 strikeouts in 3 at-bats, or 2 strikeouts in 3 batters for Carson Kelly.
Boy, that was a beauty. That's one of those that left Kelly's hand on Sunday. The problem is it arrived at the plate about Monday morning, and Canton just couldn't help himself, and that one did catch the zone. So there really wasn't much Canton could do except for maybe try to check swing it and foul it off or something to that nature.
First pitch by Tyler Wyatt is grounded to Carmine Lane, and he'll give it over to Ferraro at second for the force out to end the inning. Quick work in the top of the 7th inning, and the Raptors still lead at 10-6 as we head into the 7th inning stretch on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
I had a couple of friends that have come here, and they said that the education from the instructors was just really great. It was kind of between Davis Tech and here, and I decided to pick here because of the instructors. I've always loved hair, nail, and skin and all of those things, so I just thought it was a perfect career opportunity to be able to make my own schedule and do what I love. I really love doing men's haircuts, so that's probably my favorite. That, and then just coloring's fun because you get to experiment and kind of create new things, which is always fun. It's fun because they're like our instructors and they teach us lots, but they've always become like our friends, and they're always like motivating us to do new things and challenging us and like really care about us individually and like what's going on in our lives at home, what's going on in our lives at school, and they're just very compassionate towards us. I would say 100% do it, even if you're kind of on the edge, because you meet a lot of new friends, you make great relationships, and then it's just fun. You learn a lot of like life skills as well, which is great, but it's just overall a great program. I'm Callie Rasmussen, and I'm a cosmetology student here at OTEC.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
Welcome into the Ogden Raptors broadcast network. For anyone still keeping tabs, the World Cup is going into extra time, 0-0, and Argentina is playing a man down after Enzo Fernandez's red card.
Well, as long as it's not Messi, then Argentina certainly has a chance.
Bottom of the 7th inning, it's a 4-run lead for Gio Ferraro and his Ogden Raptors. He swings on the first pitch and fouls it out of play over the right field wall. Ferraro hit that 464-foot home run to basically straight up center field. His second time up in this game. 0-1 count to him. That one is fouled out in the same area. New pitcher as well for the Idaho Falls Chukars is Eddie Thompson. The Raptors have already seen him twice in this series. He played in Game 1 and Game 3. He's allowed 7 runs across an inning, or about 3 innings of work against the Raptors. Here comes the 0-2. That one misses outside.
Thompson played his college baseball at North Carolina State. He's a native of Cary, North Carolina. 6'1", 185 pounds, and he's just 23 years old.
1-2 to Ferraro. That one works inside on his knees, and it's now 2-2. Ferraro's going to look back on this series with mixed emotions. He had a great start, going that 8 for 9 with 2 home runs in 2 games, so 4 home runs total and 9 RBIs, but then he went 2 for just his last 12. This one is up and in on his hands, and he fouls it away. Ferraro wipes his brow as it continues to be sweltering out there on the field.
Well, I can imagine Ferraro's just going to have positive memories. Thinking about that 5 for 5 performance on Tuesday, the 2 homers on Wednesday, and that huge home run this afternoon.
2-2 pitch, fouled away into the netting, and Ferraro stays alive. It's interesting because when players are out on the field, the remaining guys who are in the dugout, so right now it's the Idaho Falls Chukars dugout, you can't see any of them. None of them are standing up on the fence, all of them back taking advantage of the shade in the back part of the dugout. 2-2 pitch to Ferraro from Thompson is fouled out of play as well. So Ferraro putting up a battle of an at-bat right now. Ferraro adjusts his helmet with his right hand, pointing his bat at the pitcher with his left. Now standing at the ready, here comes the 2-2 for the 3rd time. And that one is a bit inside on him for make it a full count.
Right-hander loosening up for the Raptors, and it's Jonathan Ramallo. He's wearing number 15.
Next pitch, Gio Ferraro misses too low, and so a well-handled at-bat to Ferraro where he fouled off quite a few 2-2 pitches. He ultimately works a walk, and the leadoff man is on. Ogden Raptors leading this one 10-6 already.
Smiley, the catcher, certainly thought it was a strike as he started to throw it around the horn. He was throwing it to the first baseman, and he thought that they were going to throw around the horn there, but that pitch did miss a little bit inside. Smiley, the catcher, looked a little bit puzzled after after Ferraro walked.
First pitch is hit on a rope by Sebastian Greco, but it's pulled just a hair too much and it's foul. So now it's an 0-1 count to Sebastian Greco. So far on his day, he's 0 for 1. He struck out looking, and then he's also walked twice. So he's been showing great discipline at the plate. 0-1 count. Greco sets up with a slightly closed batting stance and then steps with his right foot when he loads and closes it just a little bit more. He fouls off the next pitch, and it's now 0-2.
Right, Raptors, as the years progressed, has certainly got a lot of power in the middle of their order. You know, not only with Ferraro and Lawrence, but Greco can hit him as far as anybody.
And they've added Tyler Stone now as well. 0-2 pitch to Greco. Misses a bit outside. And we're going to get a Red Pocket Mobile Strike Zone challenge from DeMarcus Smiley. This is the last one if they get it wrong. DeMarcus Smiley, a called ball. And the pitch is overturned to a strike, so that's going to be the second time tonight that Sebastian Greco has struck out looking. And it's going to be time for Tyler Gannis to come step in with one out. Gannis had that great piece of two-strike hitting last time that he was up that scored 2 runs. And then he ultimately showed his speed and came around and scored himself. Gannis, blue batting gloves and a blue bat to go along with his blue helmet. Lets the first pitch go past him for a ball.
Well, Gannis done just about everything tonight, not only at the plate, but he's been an aggressive base runner. He's also done a pretty good job in the outfield playing right field today. He, like a lot of Raptors, or somebody that can play about 4 or 5 different positions.
1-0 pitch. Catches the inside of the zone for called strike 1, Tyler Gannis. I think he tapped his helmet like he was going to challenge, but then I guess he didn't. He would have won that challenge, as that was probably a good couple inches inside. The pickoff throw to first base gets Gio Ferraro scampering back. So it's a 1-1 count to Tyler Gannis. Tonight he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. He's also walked once, and he's scored twice. The 1-1 pitch works inside on him. He slightly turns his back to avoid getting hit. It's now 1-2. 2-1. Thompson, the left-hander, checks Ferraro on first, now kicks his right leg and deals. That one misses outside, and it's now 3-1 to Gannis. The Raptors are looking to snap a 2-game losing streak in 2 games that saw their least offensive production all season long. They scored just 2 runs across those 2 games, totaling just 15 hits. Tonight, 13 hits and 10 runs, bouncing back nicely. Here comes the 3-1 to Gannis. And that one misses inside. I think Gannis thought it was going to be a called strike because he stayed in the batter's box for a hair longer. But when the strike was not called, took his base, and that was the right call. So now it's been 2 walks in 3 batters for Eddie Thompson.
It looked like Thompson working Gannis in, as most of those pitches were either on the inside corner or near it. And so it looked like they were pitching him in and just couldn't find a way to get the strike zone. Good eye by Tyler Gannis, and really good plate discipline all afternoon by the Raptors. They've done a good job not swinging at those pitches out of the zone. And, you know, if they're gonna throw you pitches out of the zone, you know, Raptors hitters should just take it and, you know, take their base. And especially, you know, when you get those hitter counts, 2-0, 3-1, those sort of things, they've been able to take advantage of that as well.
They've walked 7 times in this inning, or excuse me, in this game already, which is a huge difference from the last few games that they have been a part of, with a combined less than 10 walks between the 2 teams. Combined less than, I think it was 6. First pitch to Dylan Wilkinson is fouled away. The man on deck is Chase Valentine, who is the top of the batting order, so he's due up with just one out as long as Dylan Wilkinson doesn't ground into a double play. Have to remember that the first 3 innings of this ballgame ended on double plays for the Idaho Falls Chukars as the 0-1 pitch works up and in on Wilkinson for ball 1.
What you think about the Raptors have 10 runs, but it could be even more without those double play balls, especially in the second inning when the bases were loaded when they had that 5-4-3 double play.
Next pitch misses up and in as well. Wilkinson is 2 for 3 tonight, and he has batted in 2 runs. Single and a double for him. 2-1 count in his favor right now. Slightly open batting stance that'll close up with his first step. And he winds up and releases on 1 foul. Wilkinson has a pretty exaggerated step with his right foot as he winds up. His right knee gets almost to belt level. So it's deuces for Wilkinson, the catcher tonight. Tyler Gannis is on first, and it's Gio Ferraro on second. Both of them made it there via walks. Has not been a hit yet in this 7th inning. Thompson checks the man on second. Here comes the pitch. That one misses outside, and the count is full.
Wonder if the runners are taking off here. And with Gannis not being held on at first, he's going to get a pretty big lead. So I wonder if for Evan Parker with the 4-run lead, do you take off with both runners?
And they do. The runners go. The 3-2 misses anyway. And the bases have been walked loaded. So big time for Chase Valentine with bases loaded. And Bob Malacky is going to come have some words with his pitcher. While Bob Malacky has some words with his pitcher, we'll have some words with our sideline reporter, Eric Kelleher. Eric, what do you have to say to us?
Arden and Tyson, it's just hi guys. How are you?
We're
I like
good.
the time listening to Dave up there, the friendly banter with you guys. I love seeing his outlook, and it has been obvious watching the game. The Raptors looked like they tried to play catch up with the Chukars because the Chukars came out Tuesday night swinging hot on every first pitch. They would get ahead of games, got the Raptors a little flustered. And it was Carmine and Cole Jordan having a sit down saying, boys, let's get back to our game. It's been happening today. And I hope the Raptors stick to it and give us a good, typical Pioneer League Raptors baseball experience. Whole bunch of runs.
We've been talking a lot about the heat. You're standing out there right now. What is the factor that it's playing on either you experiencing it and also out in the field?
Oh, I'm sweating just sitting here, and the sun just feels like we're hanging out in the Arizona desert. It's brutal.
Have you gotten a
These poor
Pepsi?
guys.
Have you gotten a Pepsi refreshment that is offered here at Linquist to try to cool down?
I was hoping you'd ask. I'm hanging out in O-Town Beach Club, and I did find some shade under these beautiful Pepsi umbrellas. They're all over the place out here, so fans can come and hang out, enjoy a Pepsi product, and hang under a Pepsi umbrella.
Sideline reporter Eric Kelleher. Eric, thanks for giving us your 2 cents as always.
Thank you, Arden.
So firsthand experience from how hot it truly is. First pitch fouled off of the base of Chase Valentine's bat for strike 1. Bases are loaded with just 1 out. Force at every base. Big cut by Chase Valentine doesn't connect for strike 2.
Seems like Thompson's doing a good job trying to get pitches on the inner half. He's not afraid to pitch in. For Valentine here in this 0-2 count, you got to stay within yourself. Don't chase anything outside the zone, and don't try to do too much. It is tempting, though, with the bases loaded, and he has had a grand slam this year. It is tempting to one-over swing.
0-2. He holds back on that pitch, and it's now 1-2. The corners are playing shallow-ish. Third base a little shallower than first base, and the middle infield standing just shy of the line between the infield and the outfield.
And Wilkinson should get a huge secondary lead with them not being held on at first.
Here comes the 1-2. It's fouled up and out of play over kind of where Eric is in O-Town Beach Club.
But luckily, he's able to find some shade, and I had a feeling he was going to have a Pepsi product or two.
That's a pretty good guess when it comes to Eric Kelleher. Eric also our graphics guy tonight, so really doing it all. as I say tonight, it's fully 3:30 in the afternoon. Here comes the 1-2, and that one misses a little bit up high for Chase Valentine, and it's now 2-2. You can kind of tell that the strike zone has been slightly surprising today because when batters are taking ones close to the zone, they kind of just look back at Matt Beaver expectantly. Here comes the 2-2. That one's outside. The count is full. Nowhere to put him. Bases loaded, just one out. Raptors already leading this one by 4, looking to snap a 2-game losing streak. Chukars looking to take the series in convincing fashion, 4-2. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and it's lined right back up the middle. That'll land just beyond second base. Coming around to score is Gio Ferraro. Following closely after is Tyler Gannis. The play at the plate is not in time, and it's a 2-run RBI single for Chase Valentine.
Well, Thursday night's hero does it again as Valentine was 5 for 5 with 2 homers on Thursday, and he comes up with a huge base hit to give the Raptors some more insurance. Got a pitch at the top half of the zone. It was a pretty good fastball by Thompson at 90 miles an hour. Hard to really say whether it would have been a strike or not. It was right on the edge of the zone, and Valentine didn't try to do too much of that good 2-strike approach, something Ed Campanello certainly likes to see, and Valentine extends the lead for the Raptors.
That's going to be the end of the day for Eddie Thompson. New pitcher coming in. Tall right-hander. Looks like number 23, I believe. That's going to be Rafael Brito. 6'7" pitcher.
I bet when he walks the streets, everybody asks if he's a basketball player.
I mean, that is quite some frame. We have Joshua Ijeka out on the big screen for a second, out in left field, and that's one of our go-to camera guys. Good to see him getting some recognition. So Rafael Brito, first time that he has been active in this series. His last outing came against the Billings Mustangs in Game 3. He came in for relief, went an inning, gave up 1 hit, 3 runs, and 2 walks against 7 batters that he faced. In Game 1 of that series, he pitched very well. He went another inning, gave up no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout against 4 batters. His ERA, however, is 13.8. So those last 2 relief appearances have most recently been his best 2. This is going to be his 14th relief appearance, and he's allowed 16 hits, 26 runs, and has 31 walks to go along with 18 strikeouts across those 13 appearances. I will say, though, batters are just batting .271 against him, which is a better average than a lot of other people on their statistical sheet.
Brito had previously played in the Miami Marlins organization and recently played in the Empire League for a team called the Tupper Lake River Pigs.
What a name. What a name. So it's the 6'7" righty. First pitch to Kyler Stancato, called strike, 92 miles an hour, pretty effortlessly, it looked like.
Throw straight over the top using his 6'7" frame, and he's one of those that with the good extension he gets, that 92 mile an hour fastball probably looks a little bit faster in the batter's box than it is.
Next one, 93 miles an hour, a real change in speed in comparison to Eddie Thompson. Stancato takes time after falling behind 0-2 quickly. You don't often see a first pitch swing on a new pitcher coming in, but I think that the pace that ball's coming in at may have caught Stancato a bit off guard. Wilkinson is the man on second. Valentine is on first. Next pitch misses too high to make it a 1-2 count.
You can tell just with the way he released the ball why the Marlins had some interest in him. Of course, Miami Marlins, a favorite team of our fearless leader, Tim Broussard.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed by Kyler Stancato. And Brito faces 1 batter and gets 1 strikeout thus far. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. And it'll bring up Carmine Lane, who hit that bomb 2 innings ago. He flew out to left field last time up.
That was to lead things off in the 5th inning. He also had a 2 RBI single in the 1st inning, so Lane's had a pretty good game.
He hits the first one opposite field. It gets past the glove of Parker Lester, and that's going to be a base hit. The throw to home is in time, but Smiley loses the ball on the tag to Wilkinson. Wilkinson's going to be safe as Smiley went to go recollect the ball. Chase Valentine took third. And so a few missteps and miscues by the Chukars allow a run to score and a man to get on, and one that they probably should have had the third out of the inning.
That's one of those that Lester, the first baseman, thought he would have had it, and then it trickled back towards Barrera, and a very aggressive base running by Wilkinson. Good throw, probably has him out by 10 feet, but it was bobbled by Smiley, and that will be an error on Lester. So no RBI for Carmine Lane, but the Raptors do extend the lead.
After Dylan Wilkinson scored, Chase Valentine made it all the way over to third. So now it's a runner on third and first, runners on the corners. Next pitch works inside on Colson Lawrence. 2-0 count to him now. The Raptors leading it 12-6, 6-run lead. 14 hits in this game. That is more hits than they had in the last 2 games combined.
Although I've got it as 13-6.
You're entirely right. The scoreboard out there didn't update. This one gets past Smiley, and Chase Valentine slides into home to make it 14-6. Valentine loses his batting gloves after sliding in home. The pass ball scores another one, and now the scoreboard out in left field has to update 2 runs.
Well, with Valentine, he was very aggressive. That got in the dirt. It didn't get towards Smiley's left all that much. Valentine was very aggressive base running. Smiley did bobble the ball as he was trying to pick it up, and Valentine was able to score rather easily, but he got a great jump and a great read on that ball.
Next pitch gets past Smiley again. This one a wild pitch, and that's going to go bounce into the dugout of the Ogden Raptors. Carmine Lane will take third. Brito, with those 31 walks on this season, has shown slight control issues, and you're seeing inklings of it here right now. Also, DeMarcus Smiley, not the go-to catcher. That is Drew Stengren for the Idaho Falls Chukars. So kind of a perfect storm for a few struggles right now for the Chukars.
Well, the tough thing for Smiley is a couple of those pitches were fastballs. Usually you can anticipate a breaking ball in the dirt, but it's really tough when you get that fastball in the dirt. You almost just have to react and hope you stay in front of it.
The 3-0 pitch catches the bottom part. Or excuse me, sorry, Colson Lawrence was walked. So then Tyler Stone up now. First pitch to him is a called strike. After Tyler Stone, the Raptors will have batted around the order. Stone fouls this one, and it's now 0-2 against him. So Tyler Stone needs to get on base for the Raptors to achieve batting around. I guess in your mind, Tyson, is batting around when the guy who started the order comes or started the inning comes back up again, or is it what the Raptors have done right now where it's their 9th batter coming up?
I always consider it when they get to the 10th batter. Once a hitter is hit twice in that same inning, that's when I consider hitting around.
0-2 is lined foul up the first base line.
It's actually the second inning today that the Raptors have had 9 players hit, as they had 9 batters in the 5th inning where they scored 5 runs.
The Raptors have currently put up 4 runs in this inning, as the scoreboard is still not updated. 0-2 on Tyler Stone, and he hits this one into opposite field, foul near his own team's dugout. A little bit of friendly fire.
Now the bullpen just kind of reminds Tyler Stone, hit it out there. Hit it out in fair territory.
6th game of the 6-game series. Chukars have a 3-2 lead right now at the moment. They have won Game 2, Game 4, and Game 5 in this series. After playing in Ogden, they're going to be headed home to Maluka Field, and they play Missoula for a 3-game series, and then the Great Falls Voyagers for a 3-game series. The 0-2 misses probably 7 inches outside and is a called strike 3. It's going to be a Red Pocket Mobile Strike Zone challenge, and it's going to be overturned to a ball. I can't explain to you how much that missed by.
Also can't blame him considering how hot it is out there, but that one did miss quite a bit away, and so Tyler Stone stays up there.
So it's a 1-2 count to Tyler Stone. Lucky that he had that challenge left and that his team is up by 6. The runners go. Stone gets under this one, and it's out of play, foul.
Chukars will be here in the month of August. August 11th through the 16th. They'll be here for a 6-game series. It was weird last year how the Raptors and Chukars met 15 times, but all 15 of them were at Melaleuca Field in Idaho Falls.
This time, 2 of their 3 series are going to be here in Ogden. The 1-2 is pulled, but a foul ball once again. And for a 1-2 count, there's been much more than 3 pitches thrown in this at-bat.
Stone's done a good job just fouling him off. Brito, you know, he's averaging 2 walks per inning, but he is averaging over a strikeout per inning. And he does have pretty good stuff if he's able to find the strike zone.
One-two count on Stone once again, the big lefty. Runners on the corners. That one misses way up and away. Matt Beaver might have thought it was a strike for a second, but
he gave it a thought. This is certainly a good situation. Obviously, this game's gotten out of reach in terms of the scoreboard, and so it's good to get some work for a guy like Brito and some of the other Chukars pitchers that haven't worked in a while.
The 2-2, a flailing Tyler Stone makes slight contact to stay alive. Tyler Stone has now fouled off 4 pitches in this at-bat to stay alive.
That's certainly something hitting coach Ed Campanello certainly loves to see. Hitting coaches love those good 2-strike approaches, and the Raptors have done a good job with that here so far this afternoon.
Lane is on third. It's Lawrence on first, and the 2-2 pitch misses low in the dirt, and the count is now full. Speaking of Campanello, he was out of town the last few days at the Pioneer League midseason tryouts, but he is back and coaching first base. Here comes the payoff pitch from Brito. It's swung on, and no surprise, foul.
Stone's a guy that, you know, despite his size, you know, he will take a big cut, but it seems like it's a very controlled swing, despite getting a lot of bat speed on it.
It's impressive to see a player like Stone with the power that he has being able to shorten up and protect the zone as he's doing in this at-bat. Payoff pitch for the second time. Swing and a miss by Tyler Stone, and Brito wins that battle. So a strikeout swinging for Tyler Stone, but the Ogden Raptors score 4 runs, and they lead this one 14-6 heading into the top of the 8th inning on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
I had a couple of friends that have come here, and they said that the education from the instructors was just really great. It was kind of between Davis Tech and here, and I decided to pick here because of the instructors. I've always loved hair, nail, and skin and all of those things, so I just thought it was a perfect career opportunity to be able to make my own schedule and do what I love. I really love doing men's haircuts, so that's probably my favorite. That, and then just coloring's fun because you get to experiment and kind of create new things, which is always fun. It's fun because they're like our instructors and they teach us lots, but they've always become like our friends, and they're always like motivating us to do new things and challenging us, and like really care about us individually and like what's going on in our lives at home, what's going on in our life at school, and they're just very compassionate towards us. I would say 100% do it, even if you're kind of on the edge, because you meet a lot of new friends, you make great relationships, and then it's just fun. You learn a lot of like life skills as well, which is great, but it's just overall a great program. I'm Callie Rasmussen, and I'm a cosmetology student here at OTEC.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
This is Emmy with the Ogden Raptors, and now back for more baseball.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting. New pitcher is in for the Ogden Raptors. It's Jonathan Ramallo. 24-year-old from Miami, Florida. Played college ball at quite a few schools, but most recently Point Park University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Right-hander. Stands at 6 foot tall, exactly 195 pounds.
Exactly 195.
First pitch is a called strike coming into Justin Trimble. Most recently at Point Park University. He played in 7 games at a 2.7 ERA. across though, just 6 and 2/3 innings pitched. A line out is the first out of the inning. Justin Trimble hit that one directly to Sebastian Greco.
Well, and you wonder there with the tryout camps, obviously the one that Ed Campanello went, the Pioneer League tryout camp. You wonder if we'll start seeing some of those guys filter into the rosters here in the Pioneer League.
Something to keep an eye on for sure. These two teams, the Chukars and the Raptors, have had probably the most fluid rosters of anyone in the Pioneer League.
Well, as of this past Thursday, the Chukars had used 39 pitchers this season. And I know the Raptors have gone through quite a few hurlers of their own.
First pitch misses outside to Parker Lester. Lester today is 0 for 3. Strikeout, ground out, and a fly out. 1-0 is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Both ballparks outside of Raptors Ridge have pretty similar dimensions over at Melaleuca Field. Seems like left field's a little bit further back and right field is a little bit more like 345 down the line, but the size of the walls certainly are comparable.
1-1 pitch, bit too high. That's the biggest defense that this ballpark has. It's just the height of all of the different walls. What's funny is you're never going to get a home run robbery at Linquist Field, as all of the walls are around 15 feet high, and then you have Raptors Ridge that is probably 30. 2-1 up high, and now it's 3-1.
Not even Victor Wembanyama could rob a home run here at Linquist Field. But if anybody could, he'd probably be the one.
Maybe if you got a real running start. No, I still don't think so. 3-1 count. Here comes Romalo's pitch. 1 out in this inning already, and that one's outside for a ball 4. Raptors pitchers actually hadn't technically walked a batter yet. They'd hit 2, but had not given up a walk in this game.
That's certainly huge. You talk about some games where you walk 10 or 11. Boy, both pitching staffs, Idaho Falls has had a little bit of trouble with control here this afternoon, but, Ogden, for the most part, have displayed some pretty good control in this series, and that's certainly something that Evan Parker loves seeing.
Runner on first for Wes Mitchell. His first pitch that he sees is outside for ball 1. Wes Mitchell today, 1 for 3. A strikeout looking and a strikeout swinging, but then he doubled his last time up back in the 6th inning. Yellow batting gloves, bat over his right shoulder. Here comes the pitch. He swings and misses on one that was a little bit high. His bat went straight under it for a 1-1 count.
Looks like Romalo's fastball somewhere around 90 miles an hour. He's got kind of a powerful lower half.
Comes the 1-1 to Mitchell, the native of Katy, Texas, and he swings and misses on almost the exact same pitch. That one was maybe even higher out of the zone. So then the question is, have you changed his eye line enough to go down low with it? Or do you go to the same pitch that he's just swung on and missed twice?
You probably want to see if you can get him to chase maybe even a little bit higher than what he has in the previous 2 pitches. But it would be smart to go low and see if he can change his eye level a little bit.
Stepping off of the mound and going to have a few words with Dylan Wilkinson is Romalo. Obviously, the first time that Wilkinson and Romalo have worked with each other, as Romalo was added to the roster about halfway through this series. This is his first action as an Ogden Raptor. So they're all settled. PitchCom's not really in use in the Pioneer League, so it's a lot of numbers for signs, and then when a runner gets on second, sometimes they'll be using the whole body. Here comes the 1-2, and that one is up above the head of Romalo, of Mitchell. Almost decapitated him. I mean, they did go upstairs with it again, but they also went upstairs and towards the cranium of Wesley Mitchell.
I wanted to see if they can get a little bit higher, but just got a little bit too high and a little bit too in for Wilkinson to get to it. So now after going 3 straight up top, maybe now they try to get down low. I think there's been one team that the Raptors have faced this year where I've seen PitchCom. Otherwise, as you mentioned, just about everybody else going with the old school signs.
It's interesting because in college, that's kind of all they're using. The 2-2 is swung on and missed. That one was up and out of the zone as well. And that's the first strikeout of Romalo's Ogden Raptors career. And He's going to throw that ball away, and
might be his first professional strikeout of this his professional debut, so certainly something that he's excited about. Evan Parker's got the baseball, and they're going to make sure to save it for him.
2 outs in this top of the 8th inning. Raptors are leading it 14-6. They've scored 9 runs in the last 3 innings. First pitch is a bit high, going to DeMarcus Smiley. Smiley today 0 for 3. Not a day where the Idaho Falls Chukars got going in the same way that they had in a couple other games. But the biggest thing is really just the defense wasn't quite as much of a factor in today's game. Obviously, a 4-0 win in one game and then a 5-2 victory in the other.
Smiley just won a Red Pocket Mobile Strike Zone Challenge. The pitch missed high was called a strike, and Smiley correctly challenged it. And of course, Smiley being a catcher, he has a good knowledge of the strike zone.
2-0 pitch. That one's a bit high. Close to the same location as the last one for ball 3. So now a 3-0 count to DeMarcus Smiley. Batters count. No one really warming up in the Ogden Raptors bullpen. There's one guy stretching. Here comes the 3-0 from Romalo. That one's too high, and Smiley's going to take his base, a 4-pitch walk.
Looks like Smiley going with the fashion statement with his pants going all the way down with the elastic, where he unbuckles the elastic, and it kind of looks like the early 2000s trend that we saw with Barry Bonds, Manny Ramirez, where his pants kind of go up over his spikes. Well, of course, old-timers will tell you that that's the George Hendrick look. That George Hendrick was the first one that had that sort of fashion statement, and Smiley kind of bringing it back.
For the Raptors, 7 of the 9 guys out on the field right now are opting for the long pants. Chase Valentine and Kyler Stancato, the only 2 who do short pants. And the ratio is pretty similar for the Idaho Falls Chukars when they come onto the field. I like the long pant look. I'm a proponent of it, but I will say when the Ogden Raptors are the Utah fry sauce, I really like Chase Valentine and Kyler Stancato with their fry sauce hue socks.
That is certainly a strong fashion statement that they provide there on Saturday nights. A little Saturday night fever here at Lindquist Field.
First pitch is low in the dirt to Emilio Barrera. Barrera today is looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2. He did get hit by a pitch back in the 5th inning and went on to score. Remember, Barrera just hitting north of 200 on the season. The next pitch is in there for called strike 1.
The pace of play is a little bit slower than what we saw both on Friday and Saturday nights. We're nearing the 2-hour and 53-minute mark.
1-1 held back on by Barrera, and it's now a 2-1 count.
So it looks like I won't be able to make my 5 o'clock dinner reservations. I'm going to have to push that back a little bit.
Where were we thinking of going?
Outback Steakhouse.
It's a solid choice. Solid choice. Here comes the 2-1 from Romalo. And that one does catch the bottom of the zone for called strike 2.
Where Romalo's got pretty good stuff. If he can get his off-speed pitches over for a strike on a consistent basis, looks like he could be a pretty good addition to this Raptors bullpen.
Definitely potential there. So here comes a 2-2 pitch with 2 outs from Romalo, a runner on second, and a swing that barely catches a piece of the ball and taps it foul.
You can tell a lot of players, not only Raptors fielders, but the first base coach, everybody kind of looks like they're a little bit drained with all this heat as the temperature has been in the 90s all afternoon long.
2-2 once again after the foul ball. Romalo kicks his left leg and deals, and that one's fouled back as well. Looking around the league right now, the Boise Hawks have a 5-run lead, 11-6 over the Red Pocket Mobiles in the top of the 8th inning. The Roadsters leading 10-2 over the Oakland Ballers in the bottom of the 6th. Long Beach Coast, 4-run lead, 4-0 over the Yuba Sutter Freebirds in the top of the 8th. 6-4 in favor of the Paddleheads over the Voyagers in the bottom of the fifth. Next pitch is right down the middle for called strike 3 to end the top of the 8th inning. And then lastly, the Billings Mustangs, a 4-run lead, 10-6 over the Glacier Range Riders in the bottom of the 7th. When we come back, it's 14-6 in favor of the Ogden Raptors in the bottom of the 8th inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Bowman Kemp Manufacturing has been in business for over 50 years. From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems. The rebar and structural departments supply the United States, while the basement window systems division supplies the United States and Canada from coast to coast.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. The Macarena going on throughout the entirety of Lindquist Field right now. I'm seeing someone over to our right doing the Macarena while simultaneously sipping on a Pepsi. That's impressive.
That takes a lot of talent. Josh Ijeka down the third baseline really dancing his heart out to the Macarena. And I thought that was an old dance. I mean, the Macarena was something that was around in, 1995, maybe 1996? New York Yankees grounds crew always danced to the Macarena. And that was a good 30 years ago. And we're still dancing to it. That and YMCA, two songs that you know you're going to get a lot of participation.
Takes you right back to the middle school dance floor. Ryan Inoue is in to pitch for the Idaho Falls Chukars. First pitch is fouled away by Gio Ferraro. I always find it funny when you ask me about, oh, was that back in 95, 96? That was 10 to 9 years before my existence.
Wow.
But I believe it.
I mean, the Yankees grounds crew, they would always, brush up the infield a little bit, and they would dance the Macarena.
0-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2, so Inoue gets a good lead on Gio Ferraro to start this inning. Inoue has pitched in this series. He came in for relief in Game 2, went an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 runs off 3 hits, and struck 1 batter out. The 0-2 catches the bat down by Ferraro's hands, a foul ball for him to stay alive.
Well, he's been one of Idaho Falls' most reliable relievers. Pioneer League batters are hitting just .239 against him.
Second best ERA on the team with .444 in 17 appearances. Big thing, 31 strikeouts to just 15 walks. Next pitch misses, and now it's 1-2.
So that just shows you how old I'm getting. There's stuff from 30 years ago, and I'm like, it didn't happen that long ago because I remember it perfectly. And it's like, no, that was 30 years ago.
I'm just getting educated. The 1-2 is an off speed that's waited on, and over to his right is the center fielder Tyler Wyatt for the first out of the inning. I think that your description right now of the situation, just the environment that we're in right now, is accurate. The crowd is a little bit thinner than they've had in the last few days, and the amount of heat just going on through the whole game, people are dragging a little bit. There's no environment to really, get juiced up from. You're winning right now by 8. Energy seems to be running low.
Just a little bit zapped.
I would also be zapped if I was standing out in the sun for the last 3 hours.
The Chukars want to get on a bus, and they're certainly hoping there's some good air conditioning in the bus that they're going to be taking. I got to imagine the Raptors, maybe tomorrow will head onto the bus. They'll be in Great Falls for 3 games, and then 3 at the Glacier Range Riders.
You know what I'm thankful for? That Frank Patrick, our director of ops, replaced the filter in our air conditioning in our broadcast booth in the second inning.
That was certainly nice.
That was pretty big for the program in here.
But the two big windows that are open certainly don't help our case much.
No, that's fair, as the 1-1 is fouled back to make it 1-2. But I was in the booth to our left, which is where our scorekeeper and our statistician are, and their air conditioning was broken, and it was muggy in there. Like, it makes a difference.
Hopefully things are going well in the booth to our right, where the Idaho Falls Chukars radio broadcast is going on. I was hoping John Balgini would have made the trip. He's in his 41st season calling Chukars games. I think a guy named Easton was calling games on the road this season.
I believe his name's Carson.
Oh, Carson. It's either Carson or Easton, and I think Carson is definitely what it is.
Swing and a miss by Sebastian Greco for the second out of the inning.
Looking forward to the next homestand for the Raptors. It's a 6-game set against the Long Beach Coast, July 28th to August 2nd. 6:30 first pitches, first 5 games of the series, and then Sunday, August 2nd, will be a 1 o'clock start. I think the Long Beach Coast broadcaster, Jesse Cook, is somebody that your dad actually knows, as Jesse Cook was a broadcast assistant with the Jazz the last couple of years.
Definitely there's going to be a connection there. Tyler Gannis fouls away the first pitch to make it 0-1. The Idaho Falls Chukars have just one more chance up to the plate to try to overcome what is an 8-run deficit at the moment. Is looking like it'll probably be an 8-run deficit unless the Raptors mount a 2-out rally as the next pitch is a called strike. We're going to get a Red Pocket Mobile Strike Zone challenge. And the call is overturned to a ball.
I mean, all those pitches there being challenged are kind of in that same spot. It's right there, high and into a right-hander and high and away to a left-hander, just kind of that spot of the zone. That's where we're seeing a lot of the challenges.
Well, the spot outside of the zone.
Yes.
Most notably.
But it's kind of that same spot there where it's possible that he's, there's something there when, hey, everybody's human, so they all got their own different perspective of what the strike zone looks like, and that particular spot seems to be a strike in his mind.
Gannis swings and misses at the 1-2, so that's going to be the end of the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll enter into the top of the 9th with the Idaho Falls Chukars needing to score 8 runs to keep this game going. After this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
At GCB Computers, we specialize in high-quality, refurbished computers that save you money without sacrificing performance. We believe in use it before you buy it. Come into our showroom, power up your future computer, and test it out yourself so you can buy with confidence. Visit GCB Computers online at www.gcbcomputers.com or call 385-515-1797. That's GCB Computers, the computer you need at a price you can afford.
LWE has become an industry leader and performed new construction and retrofit work to companies in several industries. LWE is located in northern Utah and has performed work throughout the western United States. We can be reached at 801-621-3220.
Hey, gang, you're watching Ogden Raptors professional baseball right here on the Raptors Baseball Network. Ciao, baby.
Welcome back to the final inning of baseball in this home series between the Idaho Falls Chukars and the Ogden Raptors. Back on the mound for the Ogden Raptors is Romalo. He'll continue in his second inning of work now, and his outing in this 9th inning will start up against the top of the batting order with Ty Dooley. Here comes the first pitch, and that one's a bit too high for ball 1. You know what I'm going to do after this game, Tyson?
You're going to get a cold glass of water and a Pepsi product, and you're going to go home and work on the golf swing a little bit.
Just read my mind. Read my mind. Here comes the 1-0, and that one misses too low for ball 2. So the Idaho Falls Chukars heading back home to Melaleuca Field. Ogden Raptors going on the road. Both of them playing just 3-game series, but 2 of them back-to-back.
You ever been to Melaleuca Field?
I have not. The only other Pioneer League stadium or field that I have been to is Memorial Stadium in Boise. And I liked it. It was a little bit older than this one, and it had some character.
They had rebuilt Melaleuca Field about 20 years ago.
4-pitch walk to start off the inning. Was it a good renovation?
I think so. They pretty much completely redid the ballpark and did it all in one off season. And it's got metal bleachers. They've got the spot over where it's general admission in the first baseline, and every now and then, especially on a Saturday night, they can certainly pack the general admission area. And the PA announcer, when they see that section getting a little bit full, they always say, "Hey, SOS, scoot over some so we can fit some more people in that area."
The runner goes, defensive indifference from Dylan Wilkinson, and the pitch is a called strike. We talk about the players and the umpires and the coaches putting time in out there in the sun. Also, all of our personal video camera crew are also all putting in those types of hours in the sun, and the photographers, Haven Aurelia, Tylee Miller, Jill Trent, all of them putting in work out in the sun throughout this week as well. Here comes the 0-1. That one misses outside, and it's now 1-1.
You can't underestimate the heat. Wait, what was it last Sunday in Salt Lake City? The temperature was about 109.
It set a record, I think.
The hottest day in Salt Lake City history. And I know it was pretty hot in Ogden here as well.
This one fouled away.
Good thing the Raptors were on the road that day.
It's been a hot one this year.
I've actually seen we might get a little bit of rain here and there this upcoming week.
As I know everyone has been very closely watching the World Cup, Spain walks away with a victory, defeating the defending champions. Here comes the 1-2, and it's a bit too low for ball 2.
So Messi couldn't produce any magic for Argentina.
Well, Messi produced magic
just about every other game.
In every other game. They came back huge against England in the semis even to just get to the finals.
Well, he made that perfect pass for the header for the game winner there in the semis.
Here comes the 2-2, and it's lifted into left field. Colson Lawrence comes in on it, and the first out of the inning is recorded.
Big game in Sunday Night Baseball, game 2 of a doubleheader. Dodgers take on the Yankees this evening. That should certainly be a fun one. I'm gonna watch that on the way home. Hopefully listen to it. Hopefully ESPN Radio's going to be tuned in there locally so I can listen to that game and then go home and watch it.
Got to get yourself some Sirius XM.
I really do need to.
It's a good investment. You can get practically every baseball game.
Unfortunately, I am trying to save a little bit of money here this summer.
First pitch is up high to Sam Canton. Sam Canton, a great day for him. He's 2 for 4, but his 2 are 2 home runs, and he's had 3 RBIs on the day. Left-hander with a red jersey, those gray pants. Here comes the next pitch to him, and that catches the strike zone for called strike 1.
I do remember the Chukars red jerseys being a little bit darker shade, kind of like the Washington Commanders maroon color, and it looks like it's a little bit of a lighter shade red that the Chukars are wearing here this afternoon.
1 out, 1-1 count, runner on second. The pitch with a nice amount of movement on it started up high and then just nosedived back into the zone to make it a 1-2 count.
Boy, if he gets that over for a strike on any sort of consistent basis, he's going to be a pretty good one.
These types of games with an 8-run lead late is also just a time to figure out, who can you put in the lineup, who can you put in the rotation. 1-2 is lifted high in the air. Going over to his right is Carmine Lane, shading his eyes from the sun with his right hand, and he's able to make the grab. 2 outs. Raptors 1 out away. Before we wrap this game up, Tyson, I wanted to do something with you. I'm spying something out in Raptors Ridge.
Yeah.
I spy something red. No, I spy something blue. You've got a couple guesses to tell me which advertisement I'm looking at.
Boy, there's different shades of blue right there.
Up into bat is Tyler Wyatt. He fouls first pitch back.
Do you spy Intermountain?
Intermountain Healthcare?
Yeah.
No, we'll play hot or colder too. I'll tell you that it's to the right of Intermountain Healthcare. A 1 count to Tyler Wyatt.
Dr. Rosemary Lesser.
Where even is that one? Oh, 1 is swung on and missed. Oh, yeah. I didn't even see the Dr. Rosemary above it. Lesser. That's what I spied. Good work, Tyson. There's a lot to pick from out there in right field.
I was thinking live on there, but that's more like a teal.
Live, I think I would have given you teal on the live on. Tyson wins, I spy. Ogden Raptors 1 out away from winning this ball game. Here comes the 0-2. And that one dives nicely into the strike zone, called strike 3. And it's an Ogden Raptors victory to close out this homestand. It's a split series between the Idaho Falls Chukars and the Ogden Raptors. The Bats come back alive in this one for Ogden, winning 14-6 after they scored just 2 runs in their last 2 games. Good to see their offense come back.
Raptors certainly got the offense rolling, and that big 5-run 5th inning was certainly huge, and that ended up, I think, kind of jump springing the offense, and then obviously 4 more runs in the 7th. Certainly something the Raptors needed as they split the 6-game series, and they've got a big road trip coming up with Great Falls and the Glacier Range Riders, but good pitching for the Raptors not only tonight but all series. They limited a pretty good offensive club in Idaho Falls to just a modest amount of runs. So even though it is just 3 wins out of the 6, I think Evan Parker has to certainly be pretty happy with the performance of the Raptors this afternoon.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be time for the post-game show. We'll speak to one of the Raptors players, and we'll assign our Golden Bat and Flamethrower of the game after this on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
If you're a business owner with 1 or more employees, you'll need a workers' compensation policy. A workers' compensation policy is required in almost every state. No matter what type of work, if your employee gets hurt on the job, a workers' compensation policy addresses medical care and lost income for injured employees, fatality benefits for families and workers killed on the job, and your potential liability for covered claims. Workers' compensation coverage is divided into 2 categories: workers' compensation insurance, which helps care for the injured employee, and employer's liability insurance, which protects you. At WCF, we provide safety training, medical care, return to work coordination, and more. When your employee gets hurt on the job, we'll take care of you both.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting, and we are joined here by the man who just finished it up out on the mound, Jonathan Ramallo. He goes 2 innings, gives up no hits, no runs, and strikes out 3 batters. Jonathan, thanks so much for joining us. Sorry, say that one more time.
Of course, happy to be here.
Oh, perfect. Sorry, we were having a bit of audio issues. Jonathan, was that your first professional strikeout? We saw you throw the ball over to the dugout, we're assuming.
Yes, it is. My first outing here in the Pioneers, my first year in Pro Bowl.
Absolutely. So how does it feel to just record that first K? Obviously wanted to keep that first ball as a memento.
Yeah, of course, the nerves were a little high in the beginning, but after I got that first K, kind of settled in. It's always exciting, especially with this group of guys that kind of welcomed me in like instantly. It's pretty great.
How has the adjustment been joining the team a little bit later in the season, coming for the second half of the season now?
I mean, I'm just excited, excited to add on to this team with, the crazy offense that they have already. Just trying to do my part, win some games.
Getting ready for your first road trip as a Raptor. We'll all be pulling for you. Jonathan Romallo, thanks so much for the time.
Of course. Thank you so much.
So there is Jonathan Romallo, his first outing as a professional baseball player, gets his first strikeout, and that adds 2 more. For our golden bat of the game, it's going to have to go to Carmine Lane. He goes 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. He had that solo home run and then an RBI, or a 2 RBI single a couple innings before that. But you can't forget about Gio Ferraro's 464-foot home run, just an absolute moonshot. Dylan Wilkinson also having a very solid day, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs himself. And the Ogden Raptors, just a much better offensive day as a whole. 14 hits, 14 runs, and 12 RBIs across the team. They walk 9 times. They also strike out 9 times, but a more solid offensive day for them for sure. And their pitching staff also having a good day, only giving up 3 walks as a whole.
The top 4 hitters in the Raptors lineup all had multiple hit games. Chase Valentine with 2 hits, Kyler Stancato with 3 hits, including a 2 RBI double in the 4th inning, which was certainly a big hit in that 3-run 4th. The Carmine Lane with the 2 for 5 performance and had that solo home run, and also a pretty good game for Colson Lawrence, who went 2 for 4. But how about the pitching staff for the Raptors? They struck out 15 Chukars hitters. Parker McMahon kind of struggled in the 4th inning, but how about the first 3 innings where he went 9 up and 9 down and struck out 6 Chukars?
So we have to name our Rocky Mountain Propane Flamethrower of the game, Tyson. I'm going to hand this one over to you. Who do you think deserves that honor?
Well, I'd love to, for Romallo, this is certainly a big day for him with it being his pro debut, but you can't forget about the 2 shutout innings that Carson Kelly had, pitching a scoreless 7th and a scoreless 8th. He didn't allow it. He allowed 1 hit, no runs. He struck out 2. I'm almost going to give it to Carson Kelly, even though with Romallo, it was certainly great to see him throw 2 scoreless innings, but he did have the 3 walks. But if he can consistently get his off-speed stuff over for a strike, I think Romallo is certainly going to be a good addition to the Raptors. There might have been a little bit of nerves out there with it being his first time out. Hard to say whether it's Kelly or Romallo that gets the flamethrower of the game, but considering that Kelly's scoreless innings went in the 6th and 7th inning when really it was still a tight ball game.
Game was a little closer.
I think Carson Kelly's a flamethrower of the game.
I agree with that pick. I like it. So the Ogden Raptors and the Idaho Falls Chukars split the series. A bullpen game for the Idaho Falls Chukars today as they use 7 pitchers compared to the 4 that are used by the Ogden Raptors. Ogden will be heading on the road after this. They're going to be headed out to the Great Falls Voyagers to play a 3-game series there, and then they stay on the road and go over to the Glacier Range Riders. They will be back in Ogden on Tuesday, July 28th for a 6-game series against Long Beach Coast. And then on the other side, the Idaho Falls Chukars are going back home to Melaleuca Field. They'll play 2 3-game series as well. First off, they're going to be playing the Missoula Paddleheads starting on Tuesday, 3-game series there, and then 3 against the Great Falls Voyagers. Thanks so much for spending the last 6 days with us. We really appreciate it, and especially spending this Sunday afternoon. A few thank yous, as always, before we sign out. I was your play-by-play voice, Arden Locke, joined by Tyson Whiting on color. Our technical director is Alan Hill. Our field camera was Aiden Haney. Our fan cam was Will Edwards. Our graphics guy was Andrew Gaunt. And our sideline reporter is Eric Kelleher. Thanks so much for spending your time with us, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a great afternoon.